to Downtime in the Apocalypse, a podcast where Ted talks and Kevin listens. I'm Ted.
And I'm Kevin.
Listeners, I just came back from what was once known as America's South, now the battlegrounds between the Empire and the Syndicates, and, of course, the disciples of Shrek.
The Shrekanites.
Shrekanites. Now, listeners, I have some updates about this. First off, Shrekanites, not nearly as common as expected. Now, I was in Mississippi predominantly, so maybe they just haven't got a hold there. That being said, Mississippi, normally Starbucks country. Now, actually a fight. There is way more Dunkin' Donuts than I remember down there.
So what you're saying is that Dunkin' is spreading its...
Dunkin's is spreading into the heart of Mississippi, which is good because, as we learned from our Tribune Auxilia friend, New Orleans is, of course, the battleground, and having an additional port and area to reinforce is important. Now, part of my thoughts of the Shrekanites, they exist, of course. I mean, I've met a few of them.
Yeah.
But maybe Starbucks syndicates are just over-exaggerating their numbers, so we are...
losing interest in... Oh, okay.
Like, it's not just that. It's like, if we think there's another enemy there, we'll change our strategy. And if they're a fairly minor power, that changes the dynamics.
Well, it might also be the case where... I'm thinking back to World War, I don't know, 1 and 2 with Russia, and you just burn down your kind of area in, let's say, Mississippi, and you let the other invading area come inside and occupy, and there's nothing there.
Yeah, sure.
There's no Shrekanites, there's nothing.
Yeah. Now, listeners, I'm going to do something I don't do often. I'm going to be quite nice to Mississippi here. So,
if you're from Mississippi, not sorry.
Yeah, not sorry. Now, I was visiting my sister and my grandmother. My grandmother does not have much time on this earth, unfortunately. That being said, she's almost 90. She's had a good run. And my father requested for Christmas that we all go down there and take some professional photographs with each other. Have full family portraits, including me, my sister, the grandkids, or the great-grandkids, my grandmother's sake, her, like everyone. It was a fine time.
Yeah.
She unfortunately did not want to hang out afterwards, spend time, which quite bummed us because that was the plan, but also she is not in great health. So
it'd be kind of tough for her.
Yeah, look, honestly, me and a few of my family members were having an argument about, okay, my grandmother is an odd duck.
Yeah.
This is a professional gambling nurse for a while.
Yep.
And I at first thought the worst and thought, oh, she just doesn't want to hang out with us and spend time.
Yeah.
But more compassionate people convinced me that she probably just wasn't up for it.
Okay.
She does have cancer and a bunch of health conditions.
Yeah.
Maybe she just doesn't want to be, around 7 people and a bunch of kids. Like, it would be taxing for a healthy person.
Yeah, I mean, you never really take into the amount of, like, stress just hanging out with people can incite.
Yeah, let alone children that you don't know, really. This is the first time she met her great-grandkids, to my knowledge.
Yeah.
During the holidays. During a apocalypse.
Yeah. That along with whatever, this might be your last impression of me. So...
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
once that thought was put in my head, I just kind of agreed with it.
Yeah. It made a lot more sense there.
It both makes sense, honestly, Kevin, but I prefer to think that she was not up for it rather than didn't want to.
That's a more optimistic view on it.
Yeah. Right? It's a much more humane way. Like, I'd prefer to think of her as, oh, she wants to but can't.
Instead of she just doesn't want to.
Both are equally likely, though. I can't deny it. She's an interesting person.
Well, just take the optimistic route is always better, my man.
Yeah. So, that being said, I did spend some time in Mississippi. Not as much as I wanted to. My folks came down a week before me, and they stayed with my sister and the grandkids and all that. So I only got to spend a few days with them.
Yeah.
I played Among Us with my older niece, which she was very surprised when she, looked at me weird at one point. I'm like, you're pretty sus. And she was very confused how I knew that. And I reminded her that I work with kids it's exactly her age and know what she likes.
Yeah.
At which point she demanded I re-download Among Us and play with her for hours on end.
Nice.
At the same time, my younger niece saw that I had a Switch and wanted to play it, so I started her on her first Pokemon journey.
Okay. Very nice.
Her
All right.
first pick was Score Bunny.
Of course. All right.
Um,
I don't know how it could not be.
Look, I always picked water types, and even I picked Score Bunny.
Score Bunny is so.
Yeah.
I love Score Bunny.
Score Bunny is the best. If you don't know that for the Pokemon Sword and Shield, that is the fire starter. However, Kevin, do you know the reason I picked Score Bunny?
No.
All right, so I went to Kineticon the year before it started, or sorry, the year that it was released, the game Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Yeah, yeah.
And there was a Pokemon photo shoot.
Oh, okay.
And I went as, I forget it, it's the Tree of Life from the Bible, and basically
Not your Gracial,
yeah,
or
no, that's the Norse one. I cannot remember it.
oh, okay.
But I happen to, at this point, already own a Pokemon Yamaka.
Yeah.
I actually own two technically. I bought one, and a kid made me another.
Nice.
Well, his mother did because I brought all the high holidays for Jews.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I own
On your Jew trips and such.
yeah, on my Jew trips and such. But then it's like I can't even take credit for this. A friend of mine's like, "Oh, this is perfect." So he gave me a lab coat. It's like, "You're Professor X," and it's a particular Jewish tree from the Torah and everything.
Okay.
And then between the 5 or 6 of us that were there, we managed to get a bunch of plushies. So I got all the Reggies plus Golems. So I just had and a Kyogre. So I just had all the Pokemon on my belt that were inspired by Jewish mythology.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
And I went to a Pokemon photo shoot where they had all the cosplayers and everything. And I won a raffle, and I was given a stuffed Score Bunny before the game came out. Of course, a friend of mine was dressed as the female, like, Scottish girl that you could play as in that game.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I gave
yeah.
it to her,
Yeah.
so she could be like, "Go Score Bunny," and throw it
That's
at
right.
people with like, pictures. It was amazing. But I was like, well, I have to pick Score Bunny now because Score Bunny has clearly picked me.
Right. Yeah. Score Bunny has reached out its tendrils into
like,
you. Yeah.
I have been chosen by Score Bunny.
Is there I would think so, but there has to be like we talked about like personas before. I would assume that there is a Pokemon-esque persona.
A Pokesona, if you will.
Yeah, a Pokesona.
Pokesona, I like that much better. Pokesona.
So just to get off track just like a little bit here, like what would your Pokesona be?
Well, that's a tough, because I'd want to, if I have to like be in the costume,
Mm.
that limits it out. If I could pick anything, I mean, I feel like I most like a Shuckle.
A Shuckle? Good old fashioned Shuckle?
It's my second favorite Pokemon, and it's gimmicky enough where I feel like I fit it.
Yeah, okay. I'm a little bit more basic, I guess. Like I would take like an Alolan Alolan sorry, Alolan Meowth.
Those are nice.
Yeah, just because I like normal Meowths anyway. Like but Alolan Meowths also kind of just, except for their evolution into like the Alolan Persian, which looks stupid.
Yeah, that's fair.
I would just keep it an Alolan Meowth and just keep it at that.
Yeah, that being said, the alternate form Pokemon as a whole, I think, are excellently designed.
The Executor, just with like the super long neck.
Yeah, Pokemon Go, I have like 12 of those.
Yeah, well, they're great to look at. So.
They're great. I love putting them on gyms because they go off the screen. But, like,
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
a few of the Galadrin forms as well, like the coughing or the wheezing that has like the freaking smoke hat.
Yeah, like the old fashioned like
I love that
nobility
so
hat.
much.
Yeah.
Or like Surfetch, which is the most Chad bird in existence.
Yeah, well, definitely yes.
Like the alternate.
Surfetched.
Well, I feel like the alternate.
She's wearing a fedora.
Yeah, that's so much better than what they did. But like the alternate form Pokemon are just like design wins almost entirely. There's some duds, don't get me wrong, but not many.
Alolan Persian is the big one.
Yeah, my favorite alternate form is Sunkiss, which is the sunfish Pokemon.
Yeah.
Which for some reason is just a bear trap when it's alternate, and I don't know why. And its ability makes no sense. It like changes like its elemental type, but like to the based on like the arena around it.
Yeah.
But it has no moves devoted to those. So
Yeah.
it makes no sense whatsoever.
No, like the meta for that's not great.
No, that is non-existent. Like
Yeah.
you cannot make this good.
Yeah.
But I love the design of just it's a bear trap now.
Here we are.
It's also how I evolved the Surfetch because I sandstormed it into oblivion and then used Peck.
Okay.
Which was it's hyper resistant to.
Very nice. Very good. Very good. I mean, yeah. Let me. I've seen this like joke a lot, and I always like this joke a good amount too. Like, you know how flying type has like an advantage over like fighting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever punch a bird?
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite excuses for that. Have you ever tried to punch a bird? Well,
For the record, I have kicked a pigeon.
just for did it mouth off at you? Like, what did it do?
I didn't kick it hard or anything. I was.
It's still a kick, and it's still like a bird.
Yeah,
Like anything you do to it could like kill it. Like you throw a stone at it,
it
it's
was like
dead.
stuck in between my legs, and I was like, "Poof," and it just flew off. And everyone was soaking. I was with a couple friends of mine, and they were like, "Did you just kick a bird? How did you do that? Why did you do that?"
I mean, what is the better question to ask, the how or the why?
I don't know. Honestly, I've never heard of anyone kicking a bird before nor since.
Try to kick a bird ever?
Yeah, right. It
Yeah.
doesn't make it any easier.
Yeah, dude, legs are longer, so I'll say like might be easier to kick a bird than it is to like
I
punch a bird.
suppose. I suppose.
I'm better with my legs anyway. But either way,
Yeah. All right. Back to Mississippi.
back to Mississippi.
So while I was down there, and before and after, my youngest niece decided that she was going to try to become a Pokemon master.
Yeah.
I was with my sister, and I did something I have not done in years.
Okay.
I went to church with her,
Oh, okay.
and through the plague that we've going through,
Yeah.
churches and other places of worship have been by far the hottest centers of infection. There is no denying this. This is just statistics. If you look at a map of New York infections, you can literally map, particularly synagogues, but like ultra Orthodox ones, but also churches to some extent, depending on their domination.
Mm.
And I was expecting to go down there and see no mask on, no precautions taken.
Right, just like laissez-faire.
Yeah. You know what? Completely surprised. I was wrong completely, and I'll admit this. Every other row was blocked off, so you had some space. It was a non-denominational church,
Right.
but it was very clearly Baptist inspired. That is the culture down there.
Yeah,
So
makes
it was
sense.
kind of like a auditorium almost. And there was a preacher in the center and a band around them, guitar, drums, and everything. The band was 6 feet apart from each other and the preacher. The preacher, when he came down to anyone, wore a mask.
Yeah, which I can respect that. Yeah.
They live streamed it.
Mm.
For anyone who was missing the sense of community,
Yeah.
they had an app where employees of the church and volunteers would respond if you thought you weren't getting enough spiritual or social stimulation.
Okay, that's very nice.
In the
Yeah.
entire congregation, there was one person that was not wearing a mask the entire time. It happened to be my father, who fell asleep.
Little too much drinking the night before?
No,
Or? Oh, okay.
there was no reason.
Oh, okay. Just bored.
I, like, don't get me wrong. This was not my sort of church. I do prefer. I mean, admittedly, I've been to two. I have like the finest Catholic philosophy education money can buy.
Here we are.
So
Yeah.
I'm just used to certain austerities and beauties. Like whenever I go to different countries, regions, I like seeing their cathedrals.
Yeah. No, they're very, very beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, when I was in Lithuania, I went to an Orthodox Easter Mass. It had this weird jade color with amber everywhere. It was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It was 4 hours. And I had to stand the entire time, but it was still worth it. I bet. Like, I like going to all the big churches. This was not my sort of thing.
Right.
But I will give this church credit. It was COVID safe. They had backup plans. They did very well. Yeah, I honestly, I can't believe I'm saying this. This was a win for church. I mean, once again, not my thing. Worship in general and this style of worship.
Yeah.
But you know what? If it is yours, I mean, go for it. This was by far the best I've seen or heard of.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's very fair. So, yeah.
I'm normally not a friend of any church,
Right.
but I was won over and went, yep, they are doing what they should do here.
All right. And it was in Mississippi of all places.
And in Mississippi, which honestly, if I was going to make a joke about things, like you think it'd be a church in Mississippi. But no, I was pleasantly surprised at all points.
I would love to go to a church in Mississippi, and the church had like a center where it's like monster trucks and just like crashing over things like a devil
I
statue.
mean, that is the parody of it. And
Yeah.
sometimes truer than I'd like to admit. But this was not that. I can't make fun of something that was clearly doing its best.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
fair.
succeeding. Like it wasn't even like half-hearted attempts.
No, Ted, if I can say anything about you, you're a very fair man with
Yeah,
these
I
kind of
try
things.
to be.
Yeah. If you do call something out, it's because it's bad. But if you do if you do say something like positive like this, then yeah, you have to respect that.
Yeah.
So totally.
Now, not to be too nice to the South, I did go over to Georgia.
Yeah. Sweet, sweet Georgia.
Oh my God, it was so much worse.
Oh, okay.
It was amazing because in Mississippi, the mask like wearing precautions were very well done.
Yeah.
It wasn't oppressive or anything, but people were pretty good.
Yeah. Pretty on top of that.
There was exactly one spot where I didn't see that happening. It was like this indoor fun house where like you could jump off trampolines and everything. And I feel like if you were sick, you probably wouldn't be able to do that anyways.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
I mean, of course, there's some potential there, but like even then, it was remarkably clean.
Right, right. Like I'm sure they wipe it down like
Yeah,
whatever time. Yeah.
it was quite well done.
Right, right. Okay. How was Georgia?
Georgia, holy shit, Georgia was bad. And Georgia is a place where masks should be mandatory 24/7 under normal circumstances.
Yeah.
And not even for sanitary reasons. There's a lot of drugs in Georgia, and I did not realize this until I saw how many of them have meth teeth.
Yep.
And like I was like at a gas station, and there's this woman, no mask, just I bought Cajun roasted peanuts because I love Cajun spices.
Oh, they're great. Yeah.
And she was just not wearing a mask, no protection, and had 5 teeth.
Oh,
And
okay.
it was clearly meth teeth.
Yeah.
Like, and I work with some guys that are missing teeth, and some of them just didn't take care of their teeth.
Right.
A
But you
couple-
could tell a meth
yeah,
mouth
a
from a
couple-
normal mouth.
Yeah, a couple of them like lost some teeth when they were in the army and got hit a few times. Like nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
But oh, these were meth teeth in the worst way, all the time. Like it was so prevalent there. Like,
Yeah.
the amount of drug use and lack of masks. And look,
And the meth teeth. Yeah.
if you have meth teeth, even if you got off it,
Yeah.
there are some negative stereotypes there.
Well, definitely.
I mean, you can get dentures, but those are expensive.
Yeah. Okay.
Like-
right.
So if you're trying to rebuild your life after getting out of a meth addiction,
Cover your mouth.
cover and like you have an excuse.
Yeah.
You have a perfect excuse right now.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. You're right. You definitely have this is the most valid excuse you could ever have.
Right? It's like, no, this is for the health of you and all around you. And they just didn't. I can't get over how many people were missing teeth from meth
But
all over the place.
I started reading a lot more manhwas and like mangas and everything like
Mhm.
that, and I saw like a lot of there's always like 2 or 3 characters that have like a face mask like all the time, just like that's part of their like
Yeah.
yeah. So I was thinking like, oh, that's actually kind of useful if you have like bad teeth or even bad breath. Like,
Yeah, both are perfectly reasonable.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I mean, post-pandemic, if you just wore a mask around because you don't want to get sick or, you're a...
it would be much more acceptable than it was like in the past.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
it could just be a fashion accessory at this point. I mean, I wear some custom-fitted masks that
Yeah.
my girlfriend made me, and I could imagine just wearing those to work sometimes,
Right, right.
particularly during cold and flu season where a lot of my students get sick, and sometimes we have a lot of call-outs, and I can't afford to get sick. I would just wear a mask to work.
Well, another big reason why people wear masks in that culture is to not have other people become sick.
Yeah, no,
Because of you-
exactly.
right.
It's a, I mean, if you ever see a
Preventative.
Chinese tourist, you'll occasionally see them with masks.
Yes.
And every time, I just want to thank them.
Okay.
like-
yeah.
It's like, thank you for not spreading colds.
Yeah. Thank you for being considerate in that way.
Right. It's a considerate thing.
To be honest, though, I do hate masks. Like I understand that people wear like the custom masks, everything like
Yeah,
that.
once
I get
again,
it.
I have a, here, I'll even prove it to Kevin. I'm holding a K95.
Yeah.
I wore this today because I was trying to get a COVID test. I don't have it, but I was down south in plague country. So,
Plague country. Yeah. Yeah. Georgia.
fucking Georgia. Okay, Kevin, I'm about to go on a long rant, but I'm just going to finish this.
Okay. Yeah. Go for it.
So I wanted to get a test.
Yeah.
So I wore the K95. So Kevin, I could not get tested today. I have an appointment for 2 days from now.
Yeah.
It should not be this hard to get a test for COVID.
No, it really shouldn't be.
I found a walk-in place, but they said it took 5 hours to make the appointment, and I got there at noon, and they closed at 5.
You.
And I had to I had to go on their websites, download another scanner for the QR code, and fill out
Right.
forms. Like there was no way.
Yeah.
I went to another place; they did not accept me. I went to a third; I didn't have a referral from a doctor.
Oh, okay.
I see a very small practitioner who
Yeah.
is great. She's a nurse practitioner. It's her own office though. She has another nurse practitioner that works with her that she trained.
Yeah.
And he's great too. But it's a 2-person like run operation. There's like 7 people total.
Oh, so that's like booked up to yin yang, I'm guessing.
Yeah, but it's between Christmas and New Year's. They're on vacation,
Oh, okay. There's also that. Yeah. Okay.
and rightfully so.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So I can't get a referral. I went to another place. It was a drive-through, and I'm like, oh, perfect. Nope. They only accept Reliant Medical Care customers, and
Oh.
my company changed our insurance this year.
Mm,
So I'm on Health New England.
and nobody takes health.
Nobody. I had to pay extra to get the package that has any doctor outside of Boston.
Oh God.
The only reason my primary care physician takes this is because the woman that is responsible for accepting insurance and making deals with them so they can accept insurance
Yeah.
is the mother of one of my coworkers.
Oh, okay. So yeah, connections.
When she saw that, she's went, "Oh, no problem. I will take Monday and make sure this is accepted."
That's great. That was really nice.
Oh
of
yeah,
her.
once again, I don't know her name, Mrs. Parker.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
You're excellent. Also, your son's awesome. Jen, he's one of our night guys. He's very calm, very collected.
Mr. Parker.
Does a great job.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. Great guys.
10 out of 10. Good family.
Good family. I have nothing against them. At all, actually. They've helped me indirectly and directly multiple times.
I would assume you have nothing against that.
Yeah, I don't know why I think that's a compliment.
That's not. It's
No,
really
it's not.
That's like a lead up to insulting somebody. Like nothing against you, Ted, but
Yeah,
just
you're right.
sometimes I don't like
Nothing
hearing
against the Parker family, but they're excellent, caring people.
That was like some of the English we heard in that movie over there. It was just like no.
Yeah.
Oh God.
All right, Kevin. So now I'm going to go on a rant.
Okay,
And then
this is a separate rant, so
Yeah.
two parter.
This is gonna be one that I
Okay.
get emotional about.
Okay.
So I went to see in Georgia Stone Mountain.
Okay.
Are you familiar with this?
No.
I wasn't either, so don't worry. But my father, who was from Mississippi, went to this place during a field trip when he was a child.
Yeah.
And it is a boulder roughly the size of New York City. It's like 2 miles long, and it was made by a combination of a weird volcanic event and then picked up by a glacier and moved down south.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's very impressive, and you can take
Yeah.
a lift to the top of it.
Wow.
It's just one giant rock, and there is a little Christmas. Well, it was Christmas themed when I was there. There's
Yeah.
a little park at the bottom, and we saw this little play with kids that was called the Snow Angel, and they took little volunteers to the audience to pull up signs and everything.
Oh, that's nice.
They had light shows and laser shows, and they projected the Polar Express against the rock at one point.
Oh, that's awesome. That sounds like a good time.
But there is a monument chiseled into the side of this mountain. It's bigger than Mount Rushmore.
Okay. Wow. It's huge.
And it has multiple Confederate generals.
Okay, I see where this is going. Okay.
Now, Kevin, this might come to shock to you. When the United States was still here,
Yeah.
before we were citizens of the Empire,
Yep.
I was greatly against Confederacy in general,
Okay.
but not because it was racist. When people said that Confederate monuments should be torn down because they're racist, I say, well, they were racist, but that's not why we should tear them down. We should tear them down because they're traitors. And shoot anyone who protests against it. They are traitors to the United States and should be treated as ISIS agents. Line them up and gun them down, folks.
I don't want to. Okay, this is gonna be tough. I don't want to defend Confederacy, but at a certain point, I can understand the
Yeah,
reasoning
Well,
behind
okay,
that.
so now,
I can understand it.
there is an asterisk here.
Yeah.
For example, when I was in Savannah, Georgia on Christmas,
Yeah.
there was a Confederate monument that I did not think was bad because it was made 10 years afterwards by the wives and daughters of Confederate soldiers.
Okay, yeah,
That was a monument to their fathers and husbands.
right.
I do not begrudge that one. It was made 10 years afterwards. I do not think that was bad.
Okay, yeah.
Anything made after 70 years, once all of them were dead,
Yeah.
there is no excuse.
Okay,
Anything made when there were still living Confederate soldiers or even the wives or daughters of them,
yeah.
I'm okay with. That was a monument to your loved ones.
Okay, but would you compare like these Confederate statues to, let's
I
say?
did compare them to ISIS a minute ago.
Yeah,
So
I know, I know, I know, I know. I
that
know, I
is
get
my
you. I
line.
get you. Okay, but like, let's like take a look at history where they tore down like statues. Let's
Oh
look
yeah,
at
I understand the slippery slope here.
yeah. No, and let's look at like even at, like Stalin
Well,
or
okay,
even
so I think what we should
you
do
know what I
with
mean.
them is do what Hungary did to Stalin statues. Declare them public restrooms.
I
You can keep them, you can shit on them.
ah
Legally shit on them. Drop trow and piss on
ah God. I it
it.
it's so tough. It's a tough thing just
Yeah, I'm
because
not saying there isn't a counter argument. I'm saying I'm very firmly
for
on
the
one
other argument,
side.
yeah, you're on
Now,
one side.
mind you, the United States has fallen, so frankly, I don't care anymore.
So this is mute.
This is a much like the when we brought up like old theological arguments in the past where it doesn't really matter anymore.
You're right. Okay, I see what you're
This
saying.
now no longer really matters as a purely academic point.
Yeah.
If I met someone that was pining for the Confederacy, I'd be like, yeah, but that's 2 governments ago.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Starbucks?
Yeah. What's your stance on Starbucks and also Tim Hortons?
Yeah. Now, while I was at Rock Mountain, I got a coffee, Kevin,
You got a coffee? Okay.
from this place called I think it was called the Compass Waypoint. You know, it was navigation themed.
Is this a Dunkin's approved vendor?
Well, this is a neutral territory. There was no Dunkins here.
Okay, so you have to get your fix somehow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I need caffeine.
Yeah. Fair.
But you know what, Kevin? It was lies. It was a Starbucks coffee with a different name, and not only did I order from there without realizing it, they got my order wrong.
You ever seen have you ever seen the Twilight Zone thing where it's like it's people, it's made of people?
How to Serve Men, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen my New Year's tradition used to be binge watching the sci-fi marathon of Twilight Zone.
Oh, nice. I like that a lot.
Yeah, there was a I wouldn't say
Mine was the Three Stooges.
oh yeah, well there's a sci-fi marathon of Twilight Zone every New Year's.
Yeah.
Particularly when there was teenagers, and when I was younger, my parents had a camper, and we had quite a few friends around it.
Right.
They were good people. I never really hung out with their kids that much. Nothing against them; they just weren't my crowd. But
See, that's a more appropriate use of that.
yeah, that's there. But me and this girl Sam would just on Christmas Day when we just sit back and just watch the Twilight Zone for hours. That's what we did. All the parents were drunk. We just sat down and enjoyed the Twilight Zone because, I mean, what else are we gonna do?
Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair, Ted.
It also happened to be like we were the oldest two,
Right. Okay.
so like we just agreed on that, and no one else really bothered us.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? That's fair. Okay. Yeah. I've experienced that on the other end where I was not the oldest, and then the oldest dictates what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you are not the oldest.
So yeah, that happened. That was how I spent it, and that's actually probably how I'm gonna spend New Year's this year.
You were like the Grand Elder on Mars. I agree. Yeah.
I'm the Grand Elder of the North Brookfield Autonomous Community of the Empire. Thank you very much.
Sorry, High Priest Grand Elder Ted.
I am not a high priest.
Okay.
Do not slander me.
I mean, you are a priest of the spaghetti monster.
Yeah, not since the Empire came. I renounced
Okay,
all
right.
of those.
Okay. Fair.
Speaking of which, Kevin, sorry about Kevin Clone number 3. I understand he was in the Cherry Valley Rebellion recently and caught and executed.
Well, here's the thing. After I clone myself, I like to think of the clones themselves as purely expendable. If they get corrupted by other means and told to act in a rebellion, which is just pitiful, as the Cherry Valley is, then I have I've got no feelings on this. No feelings at all.
All right, Kevin. So that's I'm not gonna lie, kind of dark.
Well, Ted, you got.
I mean, they are like your brothers, right?
No, no. Okay, so when God created man, I don't think He considered him a brother.
No, but God didn't share genetics with them either.
Well, made in the image of, which could be taken in multiple ways.
I suppose. Okay. Well.
Yeah, that's my stance on that.
I feel radically uncomfortable about this, listener.
Sorry, I just been in a re-education center for a little while, so my brain's a little scrambled right now.
Ah, yes, I understand. We actually just opened one of those up in my enclave,
Yeah.
and man, are we getting some great workers out of that. Now, look, um, for anyone who doesn't know, I was elected High Elder of North Brookfield.
Even though you aren't the oldest person there.
Okay, so look,
How's High Elder work when you're the I would say maybe one of the youngest people. All right.
so here's how this works. So we're in North Brookfield. We are officially a, I believe it's called a genarchy, where it's the rule of the old. It's a type of oligarchy or aristocracy, and the voting age is 55.
Oh, okay.
Now, that doesn't mean you can't hold the office of elder.
Yes, okay.
So there are 6 elders in North Brookfield, including me. I'm
Yeah.
the high elder.
Yep,
We'll
of
get to that
course.
in a moment. And half of us can't vote in our own elections. um, which I always thought was kind of funny. Um,
It's very funny.
Now, in case anyone wonders what the High Elder does and everything, and why it's different, one, I was chosen by the Emperor when I got to meet him once during the official capitulation. I mean, we had a rubber factory, and frankly, there's lots of military uses, and we didn't have many training partners.
Okay.
So for us, it was a no-brainer joining the Empire. I mean, Kevin here, I mean, hundreds died in the Leicester rebellions and everything, but
Let's not talk about my hundreds of clones and let's focus
oh, I didn't
on this.
realize so many of them were clones.
Like I said, let's not focus on that.
Okay, fair. But it was a very peaceful integration. I was named High Elder. The old High Elder, well, he was actually elected for life, but he was 75 and just kind of died.
Well, in the apocalypse, that's more likely to happen anyway.
Yeah,
So
there was no foul play. He just died, and the Emperor named me another one, and it's for life.
yeah,
But so the only thing is, besides occasionally getting to see the Emperor and meeting with some high level politicians, which is great.
yeah, rubbing elbows and such. I get you.
In the event that we have a tie in the Council of Elders between the 6 of us,
Yeah.
I decide whether or not to set it aside or put it to public referendum.
Oh, okay. So I see. Yeah.
Which is only people above 55. By the way.
Okay.
I still have to mention that is the voting age for our government. If you're 17, I think now, or older, you still get to vote in imperial elections, not local elections.
Okay. That that seems all right.
I did not make the government system. I just now run it, but I don't have the votes to change it.
You know what's kind of funny is the irony in that is that mostly the people that were voting before were usually 55 and older. So.
Yeah, honestly, well, look, if you're okay, think about this, and this is kind of my community, the North Brookfield, was about 5,000 people. It is again now, but for different reasons. About 5,000 people, just under.
Yeah.
And there was lots of retirees.
Right.
If you're a fairly old person, of a venerable age, and you survive the zombies and the plagues and the vampires and everything, you are crafty as hell and tough as nails.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
and you were already politically active.
At that point, yes.
So, frankly, the transition didn't take much work.
No, I mean...
They were already running things. They just made it official.
Yeah.
And then, weirdly enough, we're worried about lifetime appointments having rapid turnovers and elected 3 people below 40, including myself.
So here we are.
Yes, where, of course, Leicester here is still under military occupation.
Yeah, but we're going through that pretty well.
Look, Kevin, I'm telling you, if you just ask me, I can put in some good words. We can get a civil government here, easy.
Ted, I know I've got something planned. Don't worry, something good planned. Don't worry about that.
Okay, well, Kevin, I trust you.
I'm hoping to create an autonomous zone with my clones, so it's just me.
What would you call it?
Kevopolis.
What would the government be?
It doesn't really matter because it's just me.
You said they're all distinct people after you clone them.
At that kind of point, then
I guess if their only cultural influences are Kevins.
Me, yeah. So their only cultural influence and reference or what they should do as a person is me.
Ever played Mass Effect?
Yes.
So it's like the Kevin Collective instead of the Geth Collective.
Yes, basically.
Where it's a bunch of voices, all the same, just like with slightly different experiences coming to
reading like Shakespeare.
Yeah. It'd be slightly different, but very minuscule.
Yeah, there'd be slight differentiations.
Set yourself up as king as Kevin Prime.
Yeah, I could be Kevin Prime.
You are Kevin Prime. I mean, Kevin 2's over there, and Kevin 3's dead.
Uh, like, let's not bring up stop bringing up Kevin 3. There's no Kevin 3. There's only a Kevin 2 right now.
There's Kevin 2 and 4.
That's, well...
And then unknown number besides that.
Yes, so let's not talk about that. All right?
Yeah. That being said, I'm telling you, Kevin, if you just submit to a Kevin Legion auxiliary,
yes, okay.
like being drafted in, like...
Oh, I could be... Here's the thing...
It would go a long way.
Here's the
I'm
thing...
telling you, I can arrange this, a meeting with the Emperor next week.
We'll keep that on the back burner.
Okay, so Kevin and I have a lot of negotiations to do after this. Anyways, now...
I should make less Kevins because he keep on drinking my beer. So
that would be inconvenient. So we're going to go slightly back to our normal formula now that I've had my rant about my trip.
Well, yeah, you had like 3 rants about your trip.
I had so many. I could probably do more if I wanted to.
Honestly, I was kind of surprised it wasn't longer.
Yeah, but I'm just going to say I've done about what I've done.
Yeah.
For entertainment, I just played more Slay the Spire.
Yeah,
I
nice.
had it on my Switch now.
Yes,
I
love it on the Switch. Yeah.
Which I did not get to play nearly as much now that my niece was on a Pokemon journey, and now it has a few more scratches because,
well, Pokemon journeys are rough.
Yeah. Also, a 7-year-old was playing it.
Yeah. Okay.
But I have a
Very
Switch
rough.
Lite, and I must say, since I was not getting nearly enough sleep and I couldn't really concentrate.
Yeah.
Kevin, I went from being very good at getting to the third boss fairly quickly. Like, I think I recovered from when I didn't know what the new meta was and what I should do, to being very good. And then I went to Mississippi and like had a couple nights of just sleeping on an air mattress and everything, and I just started sucking again.
Okay.
Like, it was interesting because like I went through.
Maybe Mississippi infected you.
Maybe, but like on my laptop, I was playing the watch with a new person and got to the heart and nearly killed it. It was the closest I ever got.
Right.
And then it took me, I want to say 9 times on the Switch when I was down there to beat the third boss.
That's tough. That's a dramatic.
Weirdly different because I mean.
Well, the RNG.
There was, I think, 2 runs.
Yeah.
And actually, this game, I played a lot of runs, but with all the different ones. And I'd start with something, and I'd beat it enough times where I could start with the starting relic or the card.
Yeah.
I'd either get the relic and card for one strategy, and then just nothing to support it. It's like, oh, cool. Like, at one point, I was playing the Ironclad. I got the Searing Blow, the one that can be upgraded infinite times.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
And I just got nothing to help it.
Oh, okay.
Like, there isn't much to do there, but I was just, like, looking at it, because it was, like, the first card I got, and I'm like, okay, there's no pass with more than 2 bonfires.
Yeah, and then...
like, I'll go to all the mystery doors, because there's the things that let you randomly upgrade everything.
Yeah, no good.
No good. I ended up, I think my favorite one was during the match game, where you have to pick 2 and match.
Oh, yeah,
and you want to keep your deck very thin for that one, keep it low.
Yeah.
I accidentally selected 5 new cards. Like, every time it was a different one.
Pick.
Including the Cursed Parasite, by by the way, which you can't get rid of without losing max HP.
Yeah,
like,
that one's the worst.
It could have not gone worse, possibly.
God.
Like, it was the worst luck for such a good start.
What's your what do you do with like the vampires? Do you like yay or nay on the vampires?
So actually, the best run I did with that, where I got to the Heart of the Ironclad recently,
yeah,
I did vampire.
Okay.
But I had the vampire Elder Blood. So I will never sacrifice the HP.
Yeah.
But I was going kind of a life game. I had the Reaping, so I could steal life from them.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My starting additional relic, because I took the 21 damage or so to get it, was the Magic Flower, which increases all in-battle healing by 50%.
Which is really good, yeah.
Yeah, so when you have, at the start I gained 3 now, and then I took all the things that let me heal in battle.
Yeah.
It was a shockingly good strategy.
No, that works beautifully.
That was my best run throughout this entire vacation. And it was with Vampire. If I do not have it, the Elder Blood, I will never take the Vampires.
Well, it makes sense, yeah.
And even if I do, it depends what I'm playing and why. For example, I cannot count how many times I've been doing a perfect strike strategy and like get rid of all my strikes for bites. I'm like, no, that's awful.
That will just like set me back so far.
Yeah, that being said, I must say I was doing a very similar strategy after I got very far. I think I got to Time Eater or the Donuts with that one. I can't remember. I lost stupidly, and I don't remember why.
Okay, yeah.
It was a reason. It wasn't my fault, but it's like, oh, come on.
Right, yeah, just like bad.
Yeah, bad RNG, really.
Well, yeah, draw the cards there.
I I like that strategy so much, I then played endless mode with that, and I did quite a few loops with it. Until the third loop, I think I got the one where it's all in combat healing is halved.
Oh, yeah, so that cuts everything pretty.
Yeah,
Yeah,
endless mode is brutal, by the way. I
yeah.
never played that before, but I thought you only got every time you complete the game, you get 3 Banes,
Oh, okay.
and one is increased. I thought you only got one, and
Right.
2 of them are always the same, by the way. So one is increases enemy HP.
Yeah,
Another one's increase enemy damage,
yeah.
and then the third one is random.
Oh, so it could be,
It could be healing becomes half, which is the one I got third
which
round.
is the worst one for you.
Yeah, I can't remember the other one I got, but one was it would have killed me in different circumstances. It was you could play at most 15 cards a turn, which basically just kills like endless tops or shiv strategies.
Yeah, like that kills shivs
Yeah,
hard.
there was one other one. I don't remember what it was, but it was. I want to say it was like you couldn't upgrade at fires anymore. Oh no, I remember now. No, it wasn't that.
Yeah,
I was pissed about this.
Yeah.
So, first relic I got from a boss was the Black Star, where you got double relics from elites.
Right,
And I was
yeah.
thinking this is amazing for this run because it's endless.
Yeah.
This replaced all treasure rooms with elites, and elites no longer gave you relics.
Oh.
And I had the prayer wheel, so normal enemies gave me 2 cards. I had the singing bowl.
Yeah, okay.
Which the other one let me that half in combat healing also made it so you can increase your top HP.
Oh, yeah, it's
So
your max HP. Yeah,
most battles I guys gained 4 until I got that. Which is 4 max, which is amazing. But then suddenly elites became more common and gave me 1 card choice, which was less than a normal enemy.
Yes,
and it was just brutal.
No potions, nothing else, just one
All
card.
right, you still got a potion
Okay.
and a gold, but instead of a card and a relic, or for a normal enemy, 2 cards.
Yeah.
It did nothing.
Oh, that sucks. That's not good
and
at all.
then afterwards, when I got the half combat HP, and it was the other part of that was your max HP can't increase.
Okay.
So it's like my entire strategy just dies here.
Yeah.
And then I did it until I lost, and I think I lost to the knight dude, who just lost all the status things halfway through and just murdered me. Because he had like 1,000 HP, and I just couldn't keep up anymore.
I mean, I do love that knight guy.
He is normally my favorite boss to fight.
Okay,
I can normally beat him fairly easily, but the fact that he does reset his status halfway through,
that makes it tough on like certain if you're relying on poison or something like that. Then
with the Watcher, I recently did a pressure point strategy.
Oh, I love the pressure point. Yeah,
which is a skill that does damage and stacks, and getting rid of that halfway through was brutal.
Oh god, yeah, you start off from like basically 0.
Yeah, but there's this one thing I thought I read in a strategy guide.
Yeah,
I can't take credit for it because it's a skill that does damage.
Yeah,
you never have to enter Wrath, so you just take all the things that give you bonuses if you're in Calm and just hardcore focus on that.
Calm. Yeah,
so it's
instead.
like, oh yeah, suddenly I gain 15 defensive in Calm, and I have all these cards that say draw
because you have
3.
because you have the calm water, and then you have like the inner peace,
it's...
and then okay, that makes a lot of sense.
But if you just hardcore focus on Calm, it becomes very good.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you can hardcore focus on like Wrath, Calm, or Divinity, or I forget what that. Yeah, I think it's called Divinity.
Diva, I think. Divinity is what you get. You come into Diva form.
Yes,
I've never focused on Diva and done it with.
I mean, there's like certain cards that give you like
there is
mantra or whatever.
Bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now going back to the formula, what I had in Mississippi to eat.
Yeah.
I did not have as many local delicacies as I thought I would because I thought I would be spending much more time in Mississippi than I did.
Oh, okay, right.
Like I thought I'd be spending Christmas with my nieces, and turned out I was spending that in Savannah. I still can't tell you why my family thought that was a good idea. I understand why we left. I still don't understand why I went to Savannah. Weirdly enough, the one thing I wanted to do there, the Prohibition Museum, was open on Christmas, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I have no idea what they wanted to, because the one thing I wanted to do there was open on the day we had full there. It's it affected me the least out of all of us. But for the good food I did have there, I did. There is an invisible line somewheres in the former United States where all the Cracker Barrels have breaded fried okra.
Okay.
And then stop.
Right, like there's like a certain line where that's not a thing.
Yeah, it's not the Mason-Dixon line. I was above the Mason-Dixon line, and I recently had okra. And I do mean recently, literally 12 hours ago, I think.
Okay.
Like, it was not long ago.
It was not long ago when I had that fried okra.
It was good. Now, for the worst food, though, happened to be in the rubble of the disgusting city that was Washington, D.C. So,
uh,
in between,
was there giant orange stains everywhere for more like the Trumps, or just like?
ugh, okay, look, in between the Washington and Lincoln Memorial, there's a street,
Okay.
and it was completely full of food trucks.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Kevin, I've had amazing food from food trucks. When I
Yeah.
went to Gen Con in Indianapolis, the biggest nerd convention in the world,
Yeah.
there was specialized food trucks for the extreme. I went to one that was just pierogies.
Ooh,
Right? It
that's
was by
good.
far the best one.
That's good.
And it was right outside this like artisan coffee place that like
Oh, that's
render
really
up-
good.
Like yeah, I had a coffee with like sweetened with honey just a little bit. Like, I mean, just like a few drops for flavor.
Right,
It
right,
was
right.
Amazing.
Oh man.
And, like it was the best food I've had in a long time. So when I hear there's a ton of food trucks,
Yeah.
I was excited. There were 3 types of food trucks here. There were 12 in a row. Most of them were closed, and then on a different street there were other ones, but they're only the same 3 repeated.
Okay.
Okay,
What was the 3?
so here are the 3. Number 1, generic fried food.
Yeah.
Hot dogs, french fries, for some reason, coffee, which I did not get because I did not trust it.
No, yeah, I wouldn't either. Yeah.
Number 2, Mexican, but not real Mexican.
Oh, okay. Like
Welcome
Mexican.
to Moe's, but
Oh, okay.
that's insulting to the quality of Moe's. I've at least had a tasty burrito from Moe's.
Okay. Like, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And number 3 was a stripped down combination of the 2.
So fried Mexican food.
Like it'd have a burrito, a pretzel, and a hot dog, and that's about it. And there were so many of these, Kevin, everywhere.
Oh, a burrito, a pretzel, and maybe coffee.
And now here's the problem, though. Purposely to avoid kind of tackiness,
Yeah.
downtown DC has no restaurants.
Oh, okay.
Like there's no buses either. You have to like for the form where you get the White House, the Senate buildings, and all that.
Yeah.
There's nothing
Oh, okay. I mean, that kind of makes
except
sense.
the food trucks.
Except those terrible food
Except
trucks.
the terrible food trucks. Now, I just heard like generic Mexican sounding music from these constantly,
Mm-hmm.
and this is somewhat infuriating. I heard but did not see an ice cream truck.
Oh, you heard but did not see. It was a phantom ice cream truck?
Yes. And like all historical districts of cities,
Yeah.
there is a very definitive line.
Okay.
So at one point we accidentally went out of it and suddenly there were restaurants and like a public bus service.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But
yeah.
it's just kind of funny how there's just like this 2-block radius where there's none of that.
Right. It's not allowed. Just
Yeah.
like,
But at the hotel we stayed at, there was like 3 taco places, a supermarket. I actually had the best taco of my life there, but it was the most overpriced one.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised there wasn't like miniature walls built around all these Mexican food places.
So there were also trucks that sold T-shirts and such.
Oh, okay.
So years ago, a friend of mine for a Secret Santa got me quite a bit of Trump apparel, including a Make America Great Again hat, which, and I quote, is official as it was bought by an old Chinese man from a truck.
Okay, of course.
Which I laughed at when I heard it. Kevin, I saw at least 20 Chinese men selling Make America Great Again apparel outside of the White House.
Isn't that like the biggest irony?
Yeah, there was only it was all races and creed except Caucasians selling stuff out there, but it was what has interesting implications as well.
Yeah.
But you were Chinese if you were selling Trump stuff.
Isn't that? I mean,
yes,
yeah.
ironic as hell.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, mind you, of course, these were all
It's not called,
relics to a former government that no longer exists.
I mean, they're almost like collector's items at this point.
Yeah.
Historical collector's items.
Yeah. Thankfully, the Lincoln Memorial was in pristine condition.
Still standing.
Still standing. Unlike the White House, though, you couldn't tell how much damage there was because of the, I want to say, 3 stories of walls around it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which
Gotta keep them safe.
Yeah. What else did I see over in Washington? I'll get to it in a minute.
Okay.
I'll think of maybe a picture. Kevin, what have you been doing since I've been bitching and telling you what I'm doing? Half drunkenly, by the way. I think I've had half a bowl of grits and 7 beers so far.
I mean, that's fine. So I celebrated Christmas with my family and everything. We had everyone over. We had a nice dinner. Plenty of ham and a bunch of other kind of things there too, like great green beans and everything else. My mom is like the best cook ever.
Hard to disagree, but that's because you never had my mother's cooking.
Hard to disagree. You never had my mother's cooking.
Yes, I have multiple times.
That's not true. It that's not true because well, most of the things my mom makes are things that you don't eat.
I mean, I've been to enough of your family parties where I think I've probably had her food before.
I mean, you don't eat like some of the best things she makes is like meat related food. So it's hard to judge that.
That is true.
So I'll say that.
Though when my mother gets bored, she does go to cooking classes and did make every recipe on Cupcake Wars.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Cupcake Wars, the favorite show I've never watched.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I've seen it before though. A lot during Thanksgiving for some reason.
And I do mean every recipe. Like she would watch it,
Wow.
record it on DVR, rewatch it, make every one. And when she started doing this, I was in like a weird Catan phase.
Okay.
So I'd have friends over, like, and we were just learning how to play Catan. And she was baking cupcakes, and she'd bring out a batch of, I want to say, like 3 dozen cupcakes.
Oh, nice.
And
Okay.
we'd eat them, and then we'd just be like stuff ourselves with cupcakes. We'd be rolling. I'd be trying to get people to trade wood for my sheep, and then she'd come out with another dozen cupcakes.
Yeah, and use those as bargaining tools because, well, they're my mom's cupcakes, but if you really want them, you should trade me some sheep
It
or
was
wool
so
or,
good.
or
Like, I
cheaper
must have
wood.
gained 50 pounds during Cupcake Wars.
That era of your life.
Oh, it
Yeah.
was such a tasty era.
The tastiest era you've ever done seen. So besides besides celebrating Christmas and everything, also been doing a lot of just a lot of trying different like sort of drinks and everything too. So one of those drinks I had was a peanut butter cup left milk can stout, which was awesome. Like people who don't like beer really like this beer just because it smelled so much like peanut butter cups and tasted like peanut butter cups, and they loved it.
So I love beer in general, and I
Yeah.
love peanut butter cups more.
Yeah, so you would like this.
Yeah, that sounds right up my alley.
Yeah, and one other thing I tried too was Warheads beer.
I've been looking for that forever. I keep seeing that online.
Yeah, dude, it's right at Austin Liquors.
Well, I know where I'm going after this.
Yeah, so
Um,
I had there was lemon, blue raspberry, cherry, and watermelon. Best one was cherry, I think.
Interesting. That's my least favorite Warhammer. Not Warhammer.
War- My least favorite Warhammer character is Cherry. I agree.
Warhead flavor.
Yeah,
That being said, Kevin, I used to love sour food when I was a kid so much.
yeah.
I got chemical burns on my tongue from Warhead candies.
I've heard that happening, but I've never met somebody that actually happened to.
Okay, so you know the little drop ones they used to make that say you
Yes.
should not have more than one a minute?
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
So I may or may not have filled a ceramic bowl up with those at one point in my life.
Oh my god, a ceramic? Really? Like, how many did that take to fill it up? Like,
Well, I bought a bulk plastic bag, Of them?
oh my god. Okay, so a lot.
and then I drank it,
Oh my god.
and it was amazing.
For a
And-
minute or two.
And I developed chemical burns.
Oh my god. So let me ask you this question really quick. I would say you're a big huge fan of sour things. Not anymore.
I don't know anymore.
Oh,
I
okay.
haven't found a sour candy I've enjoyed in a long time. I occasionally get the Shock Tarts,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
but even then, my palate's kind of shifted away from sour and towards bitter.
Okay.
But I
yeah.
still think I think on both ends of those, I probably like on both sides more than most people. I like more sour and more bitter things. I mean,
Yeah.
I still think coffee that isn't drinking black is normally wasted.
Okay. I see. I my thing is I love lemon heads, by the way, if you haven't ever like
Lemon heads are good.
Yeah.
Now,
not the most sour things, but
no,
I just like them.
they're in the thing. Like I don't like the most common pseudo spicy thing I see a lot is like Big Red Chew and other artificial cinnamon.
Oh, like even hot tamales there?
I love cinnamon.
Yeah.
I hate artificial cinnamon.
Okay, you can tell that distinct difference between the two.
Oh yeah, I've never understood how anyone thought they tasted similar.
I don't have enough I don't know. I wouldn't have enough cinnamon to kind of distinct the two, I guess. Like I've always had like hot tamales and like red
Oh,
hots and that kind of
yeah.
stuff.
One of my like first memories is having cinnamon toast made by my grandmother. Like,
Oh, okay,
so
nice.
I know what cinnamon should taste like, and
Mm.
artificial cinnamon has always been just like I. It's so different from normal cinnamon. I don't know how people get it.
Is it like the artificial banana to you?
Yes,
Okay, so that's
it's
like
a
comparable.
yeah, it's a completely different flavor.
That's really weird. Okay, that's an interesting kind of thing right there, and I've never thought of it in that way at all. Um, Jeez. Okay, I don't know where I was going with this, but either way, that was basically my week. I would try like a bunch of different like beers, tried a bunch of like different kind of things like that. One of the big things we also tried to just like a few minutes before was those two drinks we had upstairs. So eggnog,
Eggnog. I'm generally a nay on eggnog.
yeah, I don't know what's going on with you right
I
there.
my body tried to burp and failed. Um, I've had very little food and far too much beer apparently. So it's
Apparently.
like my second, second beer, like fourth drink, I suppose.
Oh, okay, over the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
I'm going for COVID testing. I need a drink for this.
I tried so hard to get a COVID test. I have one in 2 days scheduled.
Okay.
Um,
Drive through or in person?
in person.
Oh, in person. Okay.
But we had two drinks. The first one, eggnog, which you added like spices to, I think.
Yeah, nutmeg and cinnamon.
It was okay.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Like it's like that store bought giant thing of eggnog. It's not like the
Was there any alcohol in that or no?
yeah. There's alcohol. There's like
Okay.
three different blended whiskeys in that.
Blended whiskeys, of course.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's an eggnog drink. I don't think you would. I don't think you would put like the Elijah Wood like whiskey inside there or something.
No, but I try to avoid blended whiskeys at all times.
It'll yeah.
Well,
Okay.
you know what a blended whiskey means, right?
That means just no.
Okay. So it does not mean like they added three whiskeys together and blended it.
Yeah.
It means they added about 50% whiskey and 50%
Whatever.
chemical moonshine.
Oh.
It's like through a slightly different distilling process, but basically, it might be the same actually. Now I think of it, but just less. I don't know, not reputable, less infamous almost. But it's basically they use a super distilled process to make it very quick and flavorless alcohol,
Oh.
and then add normal whiskey to it to add for flavors. You don't age
to
that
make
in
it to make it seem like whiskey.
yeah, so you get super woody whiskey that's from like low quality barrels.
Yeah.
Then you water it down with whiskey that was quickly made.
Oh.
So you hopefully hit something that's properly aged in a normal quality barrel.
All right. So really crappy whiskey.
Blended whiskey is almost entirely shit.
Okay.
You occasionally get lucky because it's super easy and cheap to make
Yeah.
and find a decent one. I think Seagram's is a blended whiskey that's decent.
Oh, Seagram's.
I want to say Seagram's. If not, it's a very well made.
I think is Seagram's a okay. I'm thinking of the other one. God.
Could just be
Canada.
drunk.
Well, it could be that. I'm thinking like the Canadian Club. I'm thinking
Oh.
of, but I yeah, I don't know. Seagram's, I don't know. I don't think I've had too much Seagram's in my life.
I have, but only because it is my father's favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Seagram 7 is a blended American whiskey.
Oh, okay.
And I think that is like the hype.
Okay, that's the high point of blended whiskey is
Yes.
Seagram's. Okay.
They hit a decent formula to the point where they could mass market enough and become successful.
Okay, fair enough. Have you ever had Mr. Boston vodka?
No, but I'd be willing to.
Okay. So I know this friend of mine. He went to he went to like a party and everything, right? So Mr. Boston is like the lowest quality vodka you could buy. It's bottom shelf of everything. And what he did was he had like Mr. Boston and iced tea powder inside of a drink, right? So he just mixed those two together, and it was like the worst tasting concoction he's ever had. It was not a good time.
Nope, sounds awful.
Yeah, it's just having this wall in Boston. So, so kind of like thematic in a way.
I suppose. So, while Kevin and I have been distracted about the holidays and everything, we did see a movie.
Yeah, we did. We did.
However,
we saw a post-Christmas movie.
Yes. However, I really need to pee.
Mm.
So I'm going to have Kevin talk about his Christmas tree after it fell over and the damage about it while I go do that.
Okay, you go for that. All right. So while me and Ted were just doing the podcast, we heard like a loud crash from upstairs.
Yeah, we covered that,
Yeah, no, I'm just recapping. So after like the loud crash like appeared on the floor, we thought my mom fell down, which not a great scenario, but we kind of like ran upstairs. We ended the podcast very quickly, and we came up, and then as we came upstairs, then the tree just like fell over and crashed onto the ground. Now I don't know if you've had this happen to you before, but having a bunch of ornaments just smash on the ground is one of the worst things ever. Just because you collect ornaments over time and you kind of cherish them as you kind of like collect them and keep them through the years. So we had like a bunch of ornaments that were like from, childhood, things you made in like grade school, stuff like that. And then you have a tree crash down onto the floor, hardwood floor, and then they just all smash and break entirely. So my mom was very upset by that. Like, me and Ted spent like I don't know, at least like 30 minutes to like 40 minutes just like cleaning up the floor just to make sure that there wasn't any shards of broken ornaments on the ground. Sort of like that movie Home Alone where he broke a bunch of ornaments and then people like stepped on it. So didn't want that to happen to me, like a John Pesci kind of moment there. So we did that, cleaned up the whole entire thing, tried to stand the tree back up to a normal state. Couldn't do that, so we had to just like lean it against a window basically to make sure it didn't fall over again. And yeah, that was one of the most depressing kind of Christmas memories I've had. Like, never had anything terrible happen on Christmas, like, thank God. But one of those kind of things where you take a memory of something that you have and then you lose that memory for forever basically because it's broken and it's gone. Like, I don't know, it's like losing something like a picture, and then the picture like burned away or something similar, and then you can never reclaim that memory in that certain way just because you can maybe like remember it, but you can't exactly see what it is because the picture is gone forever. That's the same kind of thing with like an ornament breaking. Now, after going through all this and everything, we had our ornaments back and ready and everything like that. So we redecorated the tree, got it back up standing straight, and still had Christmas afterwards. But we can never get back those memories lost from like those decorations that broke, which is, I know, not one of the saddest things, but it's still something that's like a personal thing that you can never really get back. And if you do buy like specialty kind of like ornaments or anything else like that, make sure you don't put them on the front of the tree. Have them more in like the back, so that way if like the tree does fall over, then you at least have like some buffer room from like the floor to like an ornament breaking like in 1,000 pieces, which could suck. So that's my advice for everyone who celebrates Christmas. Put the precious ornaments in the back, so that way if it falls over, you don't lose those things.
And Ted's back and only caught the end of that, which is quite depressing.
No, it was a very depressing statement that series of statements that I went through. But
So, Kevin,
yes,
we received a listener request for a movie.
yes.
And
By the way, did you recognize one of the giants looked a lot like Andrew?
kind of now that you say
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So I was like thinking like maybe that's why you requested this.
So, Andrew, a good friend of ours, has told us to watch this movie. I'm assuming because he rightfully resents me for multiple transgressions.
I wouldn't doubt that.
And
well, let's also give some context to Andrew here because he deserves some. He.
I suppose I was going to leave it as a name. Hell, I wasn't even going to name him and just leave it as generic listener number.
Yeah.
But no, Andrew, with context coming from Kevin, go.
Yeah. Okay. So Andrew is heavily inspired by, I would say, some Scottish and Irish kind of ancestry there.
Andrew is a Irish citizen.
Irish citizen, sorry. So, one of the things I would say about Andrew too, which I respect a lot, is the fact that he's trying to legalize kilts in Boston right now. So I respect that a lot, just because the Duncan Empire has banned those as a form of wear. for several reasons.
Look, if they stopped doing protests where they flash people and wielding claymores and attacking police officers, this wouldn't be an issue.
I know I understand that part of the argument, but I still think culturally, spiritually, physically, that some people should be allowed to wear kilts. And I think Andrew is fighting the good fight.
Yeah. Weirdly enough, you and I are legally allowed to wear kilts.
Yeah, where we are. But I choose not to. But either way,
I choose to regularly.
yeah, no, I know.
That being said, I do not remember to cross my legs ever, so...
Yeah.
Um,
So whatever happens, happens.
yes, thankfully for everyone,
It's not a visual medium.
I don't have it clear. Also, let me check. I tend to wear a lot of novelty underwear.
Yeah,
I'm not. I'm currently wearing plaid boxers.
which kind of go with the kilt.
Actually, most of my underwear has, like, shamrocks on it.
Oh, so it also goes with the kilts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so everything is pretty much
Kilts.
plaid or shamrocks, or occasionally a smiley face.
Yeah, you were made for you were made for kilts.
Except one pair, which I still think is intact. It's an older pair, though, so it might be. These things wear and tear is a thing. You know.
Oh yeah, wear and tear over time. Yeah.
One just does have dachshunds on it, so I do have wiener dog underwear.
Well, it's kind of symbolic in a way.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That was the joke of it.
Oh yeah, well, definitely. Same thing with like pickle underwear or whatever.
I don't have pickle underwear.
I do.
Oh,
it's great.
All right, so, but Andrew,
The kilt enthusiast.
the kilt enthusiast, Andrew.
Yeah.
Who is currently taking bagpipe lessons.
That's yeah. So you can see where we get that from.
Yes. Requested us to watch Snow White Christmas.
Yeah.
And this is a movie that is short, which is why I did not mind rambling forever beforehand. It's about 50 minutes long. That's including the opening and closing credits.
Yep.
And
that's rounding up, by the way.
Yeah.
Rounding up heavily.
And it takes place after the Snow White story that you know and love. To the point where
the Disney property of Snow White.
Yes. Is after that. Kevin, do you know when this movie was made?
I think like 1978.
It was that recent?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it would be older.
I would think so too.
It is about the quality of Santa Claus Conquers the Martians.
Animated.
Without the originality.
Well, okay. There is in a certain way, in a certain like style of originality with it. Like, I would never think to have the daughter of Snow White be also named Snow White. So there's that.
So it starts at what was it? Noel.
Christmas.
No, it's not Christmas, because Christmas is coming. It's like Winter Festival.
Yeah, Noel. I think it was like Noel Winter Festival or something similar
Noel
to that.
is the kingdom, by the way. It took us forever to figure that out.
Yeah, because that's not like that. That was not fairly obvious.
Yeah. And there is the child Snow White, who has white hair, and that is why she's called that, I guess. I think.
Well, I think because she was born out of wedlock.
I don't get it.
So God cursed her.
Oh, okay. Wow, Kevin, I never thought you had that.
I was born out of wedlock too. I don't really care.
Okay, I was.
That's why I have gray hair.
Yeah, Kevin, not even joking. I recently found some white hairs in my beard.
Oh, in your beard.
Oh, I don't give a shit about this receding hairline shit. Frankly, the other reason I haven't shaved my head is because my girlfriend doesn't want me to shine my head.
Oh, okay. Like with like the.
So actually,
Yeah.
So I found out the best thing to use for your skin and not getting sunburnt is actually to shine it with aloe.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, which is great. Aloe is amazing for so many things. Hell, I love aloe water, but aloe on skin and aloe even skin lotions.
No, it's great for you. Yeah.
Aloe is amazing, but it also does have it's not like the best shiner in existence, but
it's a decent one.
It's the second best shiner in existence. So she does not want me to walk around like Mr. Clean with a beard.
I would love that.
Oh yeah, I would too. But
we would all love that, Ted.
Katie, if you're listening, and I know you do sometimes.
Sometimes.
She goes through binges, basically. She's like, whatever, I haven't listened to that. And then it's like, all right, I'm caught up now.
Yeah, okay.
Like, you listen to 7 in one day?
Oh God, that is at least 8 hours right there.
Well, she's a nanny professionally, so it's not that hard to listen.
Okay,
Like
that's fair.
it's very easy to like have some noise in the background as she's stuck holding a baby with like her index finger in its mouth because that's exactly how you want to sleep today.
Okay, yeah.
Because he's like 9 months old and can do that sort of thing.
Okay, yeah.
So it's like, all right, well, I haven't seen my boyfriend in a week because he's been in Mississippi. Let's listen to his podcast for 3 hours straight.
Yeah. Okay, you know what? Fair enough.
Yeah, no, it
Fair
makes
enough.
sense. It makes
Yeah,
sense.
makes sense.
But then also, yeah, but I've heard him recently. Why would I listen to him more?
All right. Well, also thank you for the SpongeBob dog tags.
That was her present for Kevin for Christmas.
No, I appreciate it a lot. It was fun.
He is not wearing them.
Well, not right now, just because I had like a shower before.
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah.
He's still wearing the assumption.
Can we just like go on with the review of the movie? All right, you have to be like a bastard about this.
Fine. So, anyways, she doesn't expect you to wear them.
Oh, really?
Not at all. No one expects you to wear those. That was the funniest gag gift we got in a while. And I've got a salad shooter for like 5 years straight.
All right.
But Snow White Jr. I'm just gonna call her that to avoid any confusion.
Is there like a female way to say junior? I thought junior was more of a male.
Kevin, you explain what happened in the beginning. Why I looked that up.
Oh, okay. So okay, you have the king and queen. You have King Charming and Snow White, which I like. His name was Prince Charming, I guess, in the first movie. So they just replaced that with King, which makes sense in a way.
I do not think his real name was
Charming. No, but apparently it was. So you have that. We didn't understand the movie very well when it first started because the language it uses is like kind of ambiguous in a way. When we started off the movie, we saw like this little girl with white hair sitting between a king and a queen. And we see this little gnome-esque person called Grunion.
Grunion, yes.
Yeah, Grunion just like refer to her as Snow White. So we're thinking like, oh, this must be like a weird thing where the previous Snow White, I guess, didn't exist or something similar, and this is like a new Snow White.
I thought it was the same Snow White, and this is just the second adventure.
Yeah, like, yeah, I guess that doesn't make sense either, though. But like, either way, so going from there, we thought that was the case, and then Snow White leaves with Grunion to go do some, winter-esque fun, and then the king says to the queen, like, doubly so for me. I have 2 Snow Whites, which we didn't understand whatsoever because that was not explained.
Yeah, no. Which actually, now looking up, Junior is gender neutral.
Oh, it's a gender. Okay, so that's a gender neutral kind of thing. All right, I did not know that.
Yeah, no. So I thought it would come from like Latin roots.
Yeah.
Where you'd have like either if you were named after your father and everything,
right,
which was very common.
Yeah.
You'd be named Secundus as kind of a nickname you should replace your middle name with.
Yeah.
However, women in Rome had the worst names. So, in ancient Rome, men had 3-part names.
Okay.
Your first name, your family name,
okay,
and then your third name was the particular branch of the family.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
Gaius Julius Caesar. Gaius, that was his first name. Same as his father. Julius, he is from the Julius branch of the Caesar family.
Oh, okay.
However, women only had one name. And it was... oh, no, Kevin, it gets worse. It was a feminized version of the middle name, the branch.
Oh.
So, Caesar's daughters were Julia.
All Julia.
Yes, and now you're like, well, how do you... if you have 3 daughters...
how do you differentiate between the different Julias?
So you'd have Julia 1, 2, and 3.
Oh. Like Kevin 1, 2, and 3.
Yes. Now, this gets super complicated nowadays. We're trying to figure out who was married to who.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, great. Julia does not narrow it down that much.
No.
There's at least a couple devoted to this Caesar, plus every other Caesar in that branch of the family, or every other Julii family girl.
Okay. That is terrible.
You're
That's
right.
a terrible naming convention.
I don't get how they at least didn't get 2.
Yeah, at least like yes. I mean, oh
2
my
isn't
god.
like branch the family individualized name. Minimum.
Could you mention that like right now?
It'd still be Ted McCarty.
Yeah, yes, but like your sister, like anyone else in that family
well,
line.
I don't know how I feminize McCarty.
McCarthy.
That's not feminized. That's Southern Irish.
Okay.
Make that into a
MacArthur.
Yeah, I guess. So I just have MacArthur. I mean, I only have one sister though, so you'd have two. So you'd have two sisters.
Yeah, and that's Green. How do you? Well, Grenna, and how would you feminize Che?
Chia.
Chia? Oh, Chia.
Chia.
Yeah. Okay, she's a Chia pet.
that sounds like a pet name.
Oh, that does. Yeah, you're right. So, well, legally, that's Chia.
Yeah, well, that sounds like a cute seed. Like, hey, how's my Chia doing today? That sounds almost sweet.
That does sound almost sweet. You're right. We should change that.
Yeah, it sounds. I mean, the reason it doesn't sound completely sweet is it's super demeaning.
Yeah. Well, yes. Well, Ted, let's not talk about that and talk about this movie.
Yeah. So, oh god. So, Snow White the second, the younger, the lesser, pals around in the Noel Festival with her weird onion, maybe dwarf, maybe short person friend, Drunion.
Maybe child.
We don't know what he is. He's
No.
either a dwarf or just kind of a short guy.
Yeah, I maybe he's like a love child between like Dopey and Grumpy.
I sincerely doubt it. I don't think that this movie put that much thought into Drunion.
I don't think so either, but he's just like, he's there as the comic relief. There you go. Yeah.
He's there.
He's there. He's also a Baron.
Oh, that's true. He gets named Baron of the Noel Festival because he has a skiing accident. King thinks it's hilarious.
Well, that's how usually people get baronships or baronies. Baronies. Okay, that's how people usually get baronies, from terrible ski accidents where they destroy the award podium.
I mean, on a more serious note, the Duncan Empire does occasionally postmortemly give people nobility as a sign of respect.
This is a sign of disrespect, though.
Yeah, no, this is in this movie. It's definitely an insult.
Yeah.
I mean,
or like a mocking kind of
it's
like
sort of Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, where the village idiot gets the Christmas title.
Drumpo or
Droppo.
Droppo, because he drops the ball.
Yeah, they're very similar characters.
Like they're almost cut from the same stupid cloth.
So, Snow White gets to make the Christmas decree for some reason, and she wants to make like a castle or McDonald's play place
for children, for all the children. Yeah, she wants to dedicate a whole entire castle just for like Christmas fun.
But the castle isn't currently in use. It's on the other side of the mountain.
The dark side of the mountain, as they constantly say.
Which is wrong, because when you see it's on
it's
top of the
outside.
mountain,
Yeah,
clearly.
yeah. So let's not talk about that.
Her mother agrees, but is anxious about it because it is the castle where she was like interred while she ate the poison apple and was sleeping.
Yeah.
And for some reason that gives her. I mean, I'm not saying that was a traumatic experience, like.
Right.
But look, as a person who has accidentally been roofied,
yeah,
waking up is not the weird part of that.
No, it's not. It really is
frankly, not. Her process was, friendly old woman gives her apple.
Yeah.
She's asleep for a while, and then when she wakes up, attractive man is making out with her. Like, that is a rave done right.
No. Yeah.
Frankly, if you're doing hardcore drugs, that is the best case scenario.
Oh God, Ted, I don't even know where to broach that.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's right. Also, I'm still trying to figure out why Prince Charming thought it was a great idea to kiss this corpse.
Well, okay, so
I would have thought she was dead.
So I assume he talked to the dwarves before, and they said she was in a magical sleep. So there was that.
Kevin, I don't think I'd kiss anyone in magical sleep. I mean, trust me, there's a lot of people cursing.
No, like you shouldn't. Now. Oh God.
I mean, right now, dear God, with the research into magic, just the amount of zombies and people put into magical comas.
Well, the amount.
I don't go around kissing all of them.
Well, the amount of people turned into familiars for other people is also astounding in itself.
Yeah, Kevin, there is actually an excellent class in a third-party 3.5 D&D game.
Okay.
Where you can be an advanced familiar.
Advanced familiar.
Okay. And it gives it. You either pick a creature and just be a normal one, but this happens to got more magic and awaken from it.
Yeah.
But they also give familiar bonuses for like different species.
Oh, okay.
And I've made characters with a friend of mine. We never actually got to play them. The session got canceled. But he was an arch wizard. He was trying, or not arch wizard. It was a high level campaign, so maybe it was arch wizard. I don't really remember. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I was playing his brother.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like just a normal dude. But like I was a decently charming guy. Like I had a decent life. But he was like, I want to give you powers. And the ritual screwed up, and he accidentally made me his familiar.
Oh, that's a beautiful little accent right there.
Right.
Yeah.
Advanced familiars actually were a decent class.
Yeah.
But like you had to play a very particular type of wizard.
Okay. Like specific.
Yeah. Because what advanced familiars were good at was counterspelling.
That makes sense.
But you have to know the spell to counterspell it.
Oh,
so if you're not playing the familiar of a combat wizard, you're kind of useless.
Okay, right.
But
that makes sense.
If you are, suddenly it's like a damn cool class where it's like, no. Like,
yeah.
Then you have like the offensive defensive wizard brother duo.
Yeah, and then that's really smart. That's sort of that reminds me of like Full Metal Alchemist.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Like that same kind of like dynamic, I suppose.
No, that's a good way of putting it. The guy who shapes metal, the guy that is metal.
Yeah. Ed and Alphonse. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Probably would have been a very similar dynamic, actually. Except less tragic, because it was supposed to be, I awaken your magical energy and make you to a sorcerer. And so it's like, well, you don't have those powers. But also, if any magic hurts anyone you care about, you can stop it.
That's not that bad of a trade-off, really.
You wanted,
yeah.
But you're not going to complain about that.
Yeah, no, you're right. So going back to the movie.
Yes.
We're stuck at the evil queen.
So the
evil stepmother.
Yes. So they're going to the castle. The original Snow White talks about the original evil queen or stepmother.
her experience.
In the card. And then, of course, as soon as she says it, like Voldemort or the Satan, as soon as you say the name, they pop up.
Yep, as they do.
By the way, if you ever want to know, have you ever heard "Speak of the Devil"?
Yeah.
The full saying is "Speak of the Devil" and the horns pop up.
Oh, okay. I didn't. Didn't know that. All right.
So that's why you say that when, like, you're talking about someone they really walk in. Because you're talking to the devil, he's there.
Yeah, because just pokes up.
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense.
But the evil stepmother immediately appears, and once again asks the mayor in the castle on the top back side of the mountain who the fairest of them all is, and
the mirror.
What did I say?
The mayor.
The mayor. Elected official like myself.
Yeah. Who is also her.
Fuck that. Oh my god. That was dumb. I'm not even against it.
Just it was kind of dumb.
It was out of left field.
Yeah.
We'll get to that a little bit though.
Yeah.
But she asked once again who the fairest of them all are. So like, it's a tie. It's like, what? Between me and Snow White? That's a cop out and you know it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no.
It's like always criticizing the mirror in every way she can.
Well, like we all do ourselves.
Fair enough, Dad. All right.
We all are our own worst enemies. Be nice to yourself.
Try to be, but in the end, you're only yelling at yourself.
True. But the mayor explains, no, I'm not talking about you at all. It's between the two Snow Whites.
Yeah, her mother and daughter.
Which is the first time we figured that out.
Yeah.
It had to be explained.
That's so odd to me.
I know no women who are named after their mothers.
Yeah, same here. Like maybe a grandmother or an aunt or something like that.
Lots of people named their grandmothers.
Yeah.
I know tons of people named their grandmothers.
Yeah, but I'm guessing this was like a decision just to make the movie make sense. Kind of.
It's so you can put Snow White in the
title. Yes, but
because if you named her anything else, it couldn't really be.
You could also just name her anything, and you could not call this movie Snow White Christmas. You could name this like Greta's Christmas.
You can't sell that though. I'm not going to see Greta's Christmas.
I'm just saying in general. You could like this has so little to do with Snow White. It just follows the same exact plot. It doesn't have like any differences with that really. But
Ivory Aqua.
Okay. There we go.
I was trying to think of what else you could name her that has the exact same meaning as much as possible. It's not. I don't know what the scientific name for snow is.
Oh God. I'm I'm just thinking like synonyms, like
Ivory Blizzard.
Ivory Blizzard would be would work
Ivory
out.
Blizzard sounds like a stripper though.
So does Snow White.
Yeah, but only retroactively.
So is Beauty. Like like all these Disney's princess names, kind of Ariel.
Yeah.
Like all this sound like stripper names.
That stripper who went by Spike.
Like really?
Yep.
I would think that's a dude because Spike.
She was not. She was all one.
You talk for a second. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
I'll be right back.
Not even joking. I know quite a few women who were kind of doing that at a certain time. Most of them I knew beforehand, which is always interesting because then suddenly they have a very different attitude afterwards. Though not necessarily negative. I mean, it's just sort of an understanding of drives. Now, I do know a few women who kind of went a little bit further, went into the porn industry. I actually know a couple guys too, now I think of it. And that affected them way more than strip clubs. Because, I mean, if you do that sort of thing, you're just kind of enticing and you just kind of leave it after that. But if you go into the full thing, oh, God, I kind of felt bad for them because basically all they said afterwards is they want to be hugged. And they just want not platonic, but non-sexual intimacy, which is important. I mean, cuddle with your partners, which it must suck to have sort of the innate pleasure and have that satisfaction without really feeling loved in the process. I mean, the two are hard to separate for most people, including myself. I can't separate love like that. It's kind of why I avoid these places normally. Pretty much always, actually. Except when I was younger and wanting to blow large amounts of money on stupid things. Don't go to strip clubs. They're not worth it.
No, I agree with that. All right.
Yeah, speaking of which, I once had a bros night out. I think did I tell about this in the podcast? We went to Cheesecake Factory and strip clubs.
No, I don't think so.
Cheesecake Factory, strip clubs, woke up the next morning, jumped in the ocean.
Okay. A normal progression of life, really.
Yeah, I think there was a cigar bar in between the two.
Well, I would hope so. All right. Fair enough. So we last left off on the mirror.
Yes, so the evil stepmother decides that this is unacceptable and calls upon elemental forces to freeze the entire kingdom
of Noelle,
except for some reason Snow White the younger is not affected, nor is Grungan her maybe not dwarf friend.
I think I understand this part of the film. So they're starting to freeze. I guess everyone else just stood there while that happened.
They ran. They resisted.
Yeah. They resisted freezing. So she ran away along with Grunion and their little sled, and they became not affected by it because they're out of the area of influence of her blizzard spell.
Yep, and then they sled a little bit and went down a big hill.
Yeah.
And then hit a giant hoe. Not a prostitute or anything.
Not Snow White's mother.
Who just married the first man that kissed her.
Yeah, not that giant hoe. But I'm talking about, we're talking about the farming implement.
Yeah.
Which looked like a baseball bat.
Yeah. The wood is identical to a baseball bat.
Yeah.
See it.
Yeah.
Now, it turns out this giant hoe is owned by...
Hey, two of the oldest professions, farming and prostitution. Both use hoes.
Probably the oldest, too.
Yeah, I don't doubt that at all.
Yeah, no. I mean, the only other runners-up were like herder and hunter.
Gatherer,
I just kind of think it's a mix of all three. Or all of them.
Yeah, okay, I can see what you're saying.
Yeah,
there.
If you're just a gatherer, that is pre-specialization.
Yeah, okay. You're more of a general kind of
That is pre-profession. If you're a gatherer, you're not a specialized farmer.
I'm just thinking of like the Traveler game where it's like you went into gatherer and then you just like
three sub-specializations.
Yeah, there's three like specializations. Like there's like farming, there's like
herding
and like artisan. Yeah, and then that's where you get like beer and like honey and that kind of stuff.
I mean, if I was going to go to any of those for stat bonuses, definitely herder.
Oh, yes.
I mean,
okay. You'd be really good with a sling and hitting it at wolves.
Herding cultures without history, just like badasses. Like that type of lifestyle breeds a incredibly tough individual.
Yeah, David, I
was thinking Genghis Khan.
Oh, Genghis Khan, yes, you're right, yeah.
Also, I mean, mercenaries were from the herding cultures forever, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
And just being like, oh yeah, I'm super good with general, simple, cheap weapons and riding a horse. Also, I'm used to being awake for 3 days in terrible conditions.
Yeah. Perfect.
It's like, damn, that's a good soldier right
Yeah.
there.
Hey, you're hired for minimum wage.
Okay, so I can't remember the island, but there was a particular island in the Mediterranean.
Mm-hmm.
It was just amazing at making slingers,
Yeah.
but they absolutely refused to bring any money back to their homeland.
Oh. Okay.
They never returned once they left.
Oh.
We don't know why.
Hmm.
My theory is it's kind of mundane, like overpopulation. It was basically a bunch of second and third born sons.
Oh, going off.
Yeah, they couldn't
Couldn't return.
farm. So
Yeah.
what are they going to do? But they never brought gold back, so they just gambled and hoarded their ways across Europe once they did. And, like, they were amazing slingers, so they got paid top bill. Like,
Yeah,
they made
yeah.
a lot of money being mercenaries. And afterwards, like, well, I have no family or home to return to. Time to live a debauched life for the next decade.
Dionysus, eat your heart out. Here is me, a slinger.
And this is what they did. I was like, wow, that's an interesting. It's like, because it's always like, yeah, you do your time, then you come back with a bunch of money and make a life for yourself.
Yeah, yeah. You eventually stop that.
No, they didn't.
No, all right. I can respect that. Yeah, no, I definitely agree.
Anyways, so this hoe hits a hoe. And
she's like 10.
Is she?
I don't know.
I have no idea what age this woman is.
She's a
10 is probably about right.
Yeah, I'd say like 12 or 10 or something like that.
Gotta be a kid.
Yeah. Grunion is whatever age.
I don't even know what species Grunion is.
So you can't even guess the age.
Yeah, and even if it's like, oh, he's 20. Well, yeah, but what's that in half dwarf?
5?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
1?
I have no idea what Grunion is at all. I'm vaguely assuming he's male, and that's only. I could be wrong there.
He's wearing male underwear.
He is. We do see his underwear at one point.
Yes, we do. Do you want to do like a Wikipedia page where it's just like Grunion and then just like question mark, question mark, question mark?
So, they find themselves in a giant tomato garden, which is next to their kingdom, and no one's noticed before.
Yeah, it's like sleigh distance away.
Really not far.
No.
And this giant tries swatting them like a bug until...
The clean giant.
The clean giant. I don't remember his name, but...
Clean giant.
It's like
Finicky. It's Finicky or Finny or something like that. Like because he's like, I don't like dirt or bugs or rats.
He's there, and then one of his brothers, who is the farming giant,
Yokel. I think it's something like that, where it's like a farmer who's from like the deep south kind of name, like a Mississippi farmer name.
He's not a Mississippi farmer name. There's only 2 things they grow in Mississippi. You'll never guess them. What do you think they are?
Sugar beets, turnips.
Okay. Those are like I shouldn't say those are garden things, not farms.
Oh, okay.
If you're like industrial scale doing this for a living with profit farming, it is peanuts or soy.
Huh. Okay. I did not know that. Yeah.
The American South makes a ridiculously large portion of the world's soy. I don't know why Kevin's laughing.
Soy, that's kind of like ironic in a way.
Yeah, it's weird how much soy there is.
And it's all shipped to the East Coast.
Local market, comparatively.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
Ship it to Georgia, have it go up the coast to New York in a short truck drive away. I don't know why Kevin finds this hilarious. This seems like good economics to me. I was surprised, but also I didn't know what the hell those plants were when I first went down there.
Okay, yeah.
But, so, they eventually realized that these are not bugs, and...
Fleas.
Yeah, one guy, Brawny, just calls them fleas.
I would say Brawny is my favorite character out of this whole fan fiction.
The best character.
Yeah.
But
this is a fan fiction, not a film. Let's get that clear.
But we are introduced to the 7 brothers, the 7 friendly giants.
Yeah.
And they sing a song.
We are the 7 friendly giants.
Over and over again, as they explain. And
that's most of these songs, where it's just like the one line over and over again.
And if you think, oh, they must be like seven dwarves, they are. In fact, they're cousins, apparently.
And that must be like the weirdest breeding process I have to
Yeah,
ever
we
understand.
never see a woman of either species, and
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what they look like if those are like first cousins, especially.
So here's my here's here's my theory. So
I'm scared.
so you have the seven dwarves, right?
Yes,
Um they looked after Snow White for a little while.
yes.
So you ever heard that like old highway expression, like, uh ass grass, or the what's that expression, you know what I'm
I
talking about?
don't know the expression.
Okay, so I'm assuming she paid her stay with sex. So there's that. And from
Ass, grass, or cash.
cash, ass, or pass, or grass. Yeah. So
I don't know the saying, Kevin. I'm just going by the rhyming scheme.
yeah, okay. Yeah, that's probably about right. So she had to pay for her stay somehow. She doesn't have any cash. Definitely doesn't have any grass.
Well, I'm saying does grass mean weed, or
Yeah,
like you
that grass
sleep
means
on the
weed.
grass?
No, grass means weed.
Oh,
I assume that means weed. I don't actually know. I'm
oh,
not a
it's
trucker.
gas, grass, or ass. No one rides for free.
Yeah. Yeah, and there we go. So she came into the dwarves' home, and then she had to pay somehow. And there we are. And so technically she's related in a way to the giants, and that's why the giants look after Snow White Jr.
This is okay, Kevin. That got weirder than expected. I
She might actually be related to them because she's the only one with white hair out of this whole family.
so weird. All right, so the Giants sing the song, and we do.
we
They
we learn about them as one by one.
yeah. There's one that's like all of them have like singleton personality traits, like
Yeah.
the dwarves do, but they're way worse.
Yeah.
There is Yokel, who's just a farmer.
Yep.
There's one guy who's just obsessed with everything being perfect.
Yep. Finicky or
We have
clean.
one guy who just cries constantly.
Yep, he cries all the time, and they don't know why, so he's just depressed.
Okay, so the only other thing I can think of is at one point I actually currently arc with a guy who at one point had a tear duct like weird thing happening or in his eye. So basically one eye just constantly tears.
Oh yeah, I've seen that in like a movie before too. Like when a dude who always had like a tear kind of thing
Yeah,
going on.
but it was just like the first few times I saw him like I didn't mention it. I'm like, are you okay, man?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have a tear duct blockage. Like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah,
But I'm assuming it's clinically depressed.
because he cries. He doesn't always cry, but when he does cry hard.
Yeah, he doesn't always cry despite the song.
Yeah.
We do see him just laughing.
True.
There's another one that's his youngest brother. His name is Tiny, and he is the largest.
Yeah. Yeah. Ironic name.
Yeah. Oh, we have one guy who I think is the least lucky of all of them, who for his entire life has the hiccups.
I think his name is like Hicker or Yicker
Yeah,
or something like that.
like that.
Yeah.
And
Just has the hiccups.
Kevin, I've had a couple bad cases of the hiccups.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to sleep with the hiccups? It is
Oh,
damn near impossible.
that's a good point. This man's life must be hell.
Yeah, a friend of mine had the hiccups in high school, and like it lasted a week, and she had to go to the doctor and get prescription grade muscle relaxants.
Oh God. Okay.
And I hung out with her that weekend. Like we had a get together. For some reason, it was at her house that time. Normally, it was my house.
Yeah. Yeah.
I live in the same house as then now. I basically had a floor to myself.
Right. Right. Right.
But for some reason, we were at her house, and she was high as a kite. Like, oh my god, I have never seen this woman this relaxed about anything in her life. Now, that's probably for a benefit. She is not the type to relax. She was a perfectionist, and last time I checked, was working like nuclear submarine.
Yeah, I expect a perfectionist to please work on that. I would hope
she was
perfectionist
always
works
very
on that.
smart, and then
Yeah.
When you're that persnickety and want to make everything perfect. Hey, if you want to make sure everything's perfect, anything nuclear.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, that's fair.
You need. There is no margin.
Please
of
be
error.
on that. Yeah, beyond that.
If you're a perfectionist, that's very smart.
Yeah.
There are certain career fields that we really need you in.
Yeah, please go towards these. Like I'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right.
And she has made great strides for the former United States. I have no idea enough about Colorado to know what her research has resulted in nowadays.
Well, I would hope maybe those things from The Fly, where you have like those two like different transportation kind of things going on, and yeah,
Quite possibly.
Yeah, I would hope so. Maybe that.
Teleportation probably go really well with Kevin's cloning
Well, maybe also that thing from Event Horizon.
plans. All right, back to the movie now, so I don't have to think about Event Horizon.
Oh, Event Horizon's great.
Still one of the best movies to watch.
Yes,
But
I agree.
now they're at the giant's house, and we meet the best boy, Brawny.
Brawny is the best boy. Yes.
Now, Brawny is, I think, the oldest brother, and if not, he's simply the strongest brother.
Leader of the brothers.
Yeah, he's the leader, the most assertive.
He's the Leonardo of this Ninja Turtle gang.
And he is very strong, very muscular, and refuses to admit that he's a nice guy.
Yep.
Like, he'll do something nice and just claim it was for a different reason.
It's like the opposite of those dudes on Reddit who have, like, hashtag nice guys.
Yeah, no, he's actually a nice guy, but just insists on pretending to be an asshole.
By the way, if you insist that you're a nice guy and claim that you're a nice guy,
you're probably an asshole.
Yeah, screw off.
If you think you're an awful person and then realize what percentage of your time and paycheck you put to charity, you're probably a nice guy.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And like he's like that. He has a constant work ethic. He doesn't want to party or play around. He sleep because they have important work to do. Because for some reason, these particular 7 dudes are responsible for
these 7 cool. I need 7 dudes with attitude.
with oddly fitting names.
Yeah. Describe exactly how they are.
To dig out like new rivers for winter melts of mountains.
Yeah, like the spring melt doesn't flood everywhere.
That's their job, to build new rivers.
Yeah.
And never explained why. What's wrong with the old rivers?
Yeah, I mean, they have to build a new river every year, I guess.
At least we don't know how many rivers they build.
Yeah. So
I mean, canals, like just have them. Like I feel like if they just hired themselves out to a kingdom,
yeah,
like canals are super expensive to build even nowadays.
Right, you're right.
Imagine like a medieval king's like, yep, and suddenly our irrigation problems are solved forever. Also, we have a port.
I was listening to Internet Historian for a little bit, and we've talked about him before on this.
Yeah, good guy.
Yeah, good guy. But one of the things he talked about was like he lives in Australia, so he would love the idea of just building a giant canal from like one point of Australia down all the way through like the middle, basically.
Yeah.
And that way you could just have a bunch of like grassland and available.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So the city I lived in Belgium, Leuven, is 3/4 way through the country.
Mm.
But during kind of their golden age where they killed 6 million people that I know of in the beginning and then 20 million later in the Congo and just strip mined it of all resources, Leuven has a port because they built a canal the length of Massachusetts.
Okay. Yeah. That's pretty gosh darn impressive, my man.
Oh, yeah. But it's very convenient because if you ever had Stella Artois, it is brewed only there.
Oh, okay. Really?
Yeah. Oh, you can actually, the air has an alcohol content because of that. That's not a joke.
I know that's not a joke.
Yeah, also, in Belgium, Stella Artois is sort of a shit beer.
Oh, okay.
It's like a Miller sort of thing. When I was living in Belgium, I came home for Christmas.
Yeah.
And we went to New York City. I think we were seeing like Cats or something.
Oh, like the movie or the musical?
The musical.
Oh, the musical. Okay.
It was like 5 years ago.
Yeah, okay. Because Cats the movie sucks.
Yeah. Oh, I have so much to tell about Cats the movie. That's a different day.
Okay.
But we were in there, and we went to a fairly fancy restaurant, and one guy was like, yes, and for today's special, we have Stella Artois. And I laughed at this waiter's face. Because he said, I'm like, oh, really? If Stella? Like, Stella Artois from Louvain, Belgium. Like, it's pronounced Leuven.
Yeah, first off.
Yeah. And secondly, you shouldn't be bragging about having Stella. That's like, we have Miller High Life, the champagne of beer.
What did the guy say back to you?
He was flummoxed.
Okay, as he should
had
be.
No idea. I was laughing like crazy, like this was like he was an idiot.
Yeah, well, he is technically.
And then I was telling him about like no, that's Leuven. It's from Flanders. Do not pronounce it with a French accent. Okay. Actually, it was a fine waiter, but I just couldn't help myself because it's like no, man. I was there 2 days ago.
Yeah. I mean, that's Ted. That's extremely fair. So,
yeah,
so
don't try to sell me. Like, and I mean,
don't try to sell me on Stella Artois.
It's called Stella.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they actually, like, I forget who bought who, but at the time they were starting a very prominent American ad campaign.
Oh, okay.
So I was in Times Square on the center window. There was a Stella commercials. Like, you're
Okay.
fucking kidding me, right? I just left Belgium.
Yeah.
I lived a quarter of a mile from your factory
Yeah.
2 days ago.
Yeah.
That's technically my permanent address right
Yeah. I would also like to imagine it's like the you told me before this, like the American sauce.
now. Ugh.
Yeah, so like you have the American Stella.
So American Stella is actually really good.
Okay.
So there is an American Stella. Have you ever had Stella cider?
No, I've never had that.
Okay, so they make a hard cider.
Hmm.
It is brewed in New Jersey. I sent pictures to Belgians. They were confused by it.
Okay.
It's
Pretty
probably their
good.
best product.
Oh, really? And people say America doesn't make things anymore. Screw you. Who needs that?
We make really good alcohol.
Yeah, hey, you know what? Fair enough.
Way better than Germans.
If you're a German listening,
You make bad beer.
yeah, okay.
You go. If you're German, you still have I talked about the German law of purity before on this podcast?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. There's a 16th century law in Germany that's still in effect called
Yeah.
the German law of purity, which sounds as Nazi as possible.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
But it actually restricts the amount of ingredients like these.
Really?
Yeah, and I think it's just wheat, barley, water, and once it was discovered, they amended it to add yeast.
Jesus. Okay, so
So
super
Kevin and I
restricted.
are drinking
Greater good.
nitrogen-infused chocolate milk porter.
Yeah.
This is illegal to make in Germany.
That's amazing to me. Wow.
This is why when I went to Oktoberfest, I found the beers disappointing.
Well,
Because
yeah, okay.
you are limited to those ingredients by law.
That sucks. Wow.
Yeah.
That really sucks.
And it wasn't really an issue until, we discovered nitrogen goes well with beer.
Yeah. Okay.
So does, like, coffee.
And a bunch of other crap. Yeah.
Like, I had a raspberry stout a few days ago. It was amazing.
Yeah, I've had that before too.
That is literally illegal to make in Germany.
That is nuts to me. I enjoy a good dunkel.
Yeah, there's, don't get me wrong, I mean, kind of fancy.
Considering the limitations.
Yeah, kind of fancy dwarfs. Like, I remember reading The Complete Dwarf from AD&D.
Yeah.
It talks about how the guilds restrict how much you can, like, what ingredients you put in bread, and how there's still a bunch of variations in between those.
Yeah.
And Germany's very similar. I mean, Germany and fantasy dwarves are very similar.
Well, I wonder if they were inspired.
Oh, no, it's a Germanic thing.
Yeah.
But still, we have so many good ingredients that are just illegal in Germany.
That's sort of that really surprises me.
Yeah.
Because I think of Germany and I think of beer almost like immediately, like they go hand in hand.
No, if you want to go, you have to go to Germany that isn't Germany, Belgium, where they don't have these laws.
Okay.
But also have these monasteries with these great traditions and these amazingly well-preserved yeast strains that have been cultivated over 1,000 years.
Okay.
And
we need to go on a trip.
Yeah, so I was supposed to go to the Netherlands in September, but that didn't happen.
Well, yeah, for reasons.
Apocalypse. But I think kind of like my favorite kind of like little tidbit about this is, are you familiar with Spencer Travis Brews?
Yeah.
When I was in Belgium, everyone knew where I lived because I could say I was from a small town next to Spencer.
Okay.
Because having a Trappist brewery outside of Europe was such a big deal in Belgium. Belgium, a country that we can complain about the Belgian government a lot, and we should, because they have a weird system and all that.
Yeah.
But they are a country that has enough, not logic, but understanding of human nature to subsidize their beer production.
Okay, that makes sense.
Beer is a national industry there, and they subsidize it to keep these older recipes and industries strong.
Okay, I can respect that.
Yeah, I don't think anyone can diss that too much.
No.
Rastafarian or Mormon.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And if you're one of those two, you're probably not listening to this.
Yeah, probably
Anyways,
not.
back to the movie we're theoretically
Theoretically.
I'm drunk. I've had like 4 drinks and no food. I don't feel bad about it.
No, me either.
So
Yeah.
Snow White finds these giants and starts living with them. Uh, Brawly, whatever his name is, Bernie,
Let's just say Bernie.
Brawly, whatever his name is, figures out that they could stay in the cuckoo clock if he just takes out the mechanism that winds it, and it's a perfect sized house. But the evil stepmother finds out where she lives.
That mirror is just always mocking her. Just like that concept. The mirror is like a mirror is kind of a B. So
yeah. So
which makes sense in a way.
Yeah. And she finds out where they live. So she turns into a giant mouse.
As you do.
Burrows through the giant's door in like 10 seconds.
No, the wood sucks on the door. If like a mouse can like literally chew through a door.
Yeah,
like
look, I have a rabbit.
Yeah.
And he's chewed on some things I don't want him to chew on my windowsill, some door fixtures and everything.
Yeah.
It's not that quick.
Yes. This door's made out of like balsa wood.
Yeah, and then for some reason this mouse can't just destroy the cuckoo clock they're staying in.
Oh, like the door to the cuckoo clock is somehow impenetrable.
It bounces off, like a cartoon.
Yeah, basically.
This
is a cartoon, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, but, whatever his name is, Funyun or whatever, Grunion.
Grunion, yeah.
I want Funyun. Accidentally, when he's cowering, sets off the cuckoo clock, which then hammers the mouse, which we don't see. There's a cutaway.
I assume it, like, where do you assume it, like, hammers it into? Because, like, the way he's, like, positioned, it's, like, to ring the bell as,
So, from where it was
yeah.
It has to be, like, mid to lower back. Like, human tail bone.
Yes, okay.
Like, not the tail. It didn't just hit the tail like you do in the Tom and Jerry cartoon.
Yeah.
It hit the tailbone and hip bones.
When,
which would hurt as hell. Like,
that would hurt. I would just like to imagine a thing where the the rat is paralyzed.
Oh. I would have. I don't know why I thought that was so dark. I mean, the rat's an asshole.
The rat's evil.
So, yeah.
It looks evil, very, very evil.
Yeah, so...
like a plague rat.
The rat then knocks over a giant broom, sets it on fire because they put the cuckoo clock next to the fireplace, and starts setting the cuckoo clock on fire.
Yeah.
But thankfully, Finicky, or whatever his name is, the clean giant...
Oh, yeah, came back to clean the cabin.
Because he can't clean his cabin when his brother's around, which makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah. You have to have, like, it empty, basically.
Yeah, and also, I don't know, when you... Like, I don't particularly like cleaning.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm cleaning, I'm, like, blasting music and everything.
Right, to listen to something while you do it.
I'm imagining if I was completely alone in, like, electronic-free environment, I'd probably be singing to myself or something.
Right, and you don't want that while people are around.
No.
Yeah. That makes sense.
It's like, he's just finding himself like, oh, finally get this done.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, shit, they're on fire.
Yeah.
God, there's a rat. There's never been rats in here before. What the hell?
Yeah, and then he tries to kill the rat, but...
The rat runs out. I mean,
yeah.
I have had rats in my house before.
Yeah.
And they are really fast. Speaking of Belgium, I lived in a really shitty Belgian apartment, and we kept the scoreboard on who killed and or chased out rats.
That's a good scoreboard to have. Okay.
Yeah. I actually got so fond of one rat, I named him Pickles. That's not a joke.
Yeah.
And the other one was named Jeremy.
I would like to imagine, like, the Giants keep this rat, and it's like Scabbers from Harry Potter.
It kind of is Scabbers. It's literally a wicked spell user.
It's like this creepy person that's just like pretending to be a rat. Yeah,
but Jeremy was fine. I mean, we just happened to... My apartment was really poorly designed, and our kitchen was it was all studio apartments.
Yeah, okay.
With lofted beds.
Oh, okay.
That being said, the ceilings were like 15 feet tall, because all of the lowlands have ridiculously high ceilings.
Yeah, okay.
And sinks in every rooms. But, yeah, so I had a sink in that. Not a toilet, a sink.
That's so weird.
It's a different culture, man. I don't understand it. I brought it up to an expat there, and she was like, yeah, I get it. I don't know why either. There's also no oven. Stoves, yes.
But no ovens, just stoves?
For Thanksgiving, a friend of mine had to go to a professional chef to bake a turkey. I went to a bunch of expats in the Netherlands.
Okay.
my girlfriend
So
at the time's family. So.
that's really weird. That's very weird.
Yep. So there are differences. Before I go on another Belgian land, let's get back to the movie. Gets chased out to like, okay, screw this. You're coming with us this time.
Yeah.
So the next day,
While they're digging their trench
during their new river for some reason,
because of the spring melt.
they're there, and the evil witch says a rhyme. All her spells are rhymes, and
As you do.
and melts a bunch of snow to make a flood.
Yeah, through the power of darkness, she summons heat through her fingers, or whatever the rhyme was.
Yeah, something like that. And
Yeah. By the way, there's always like vultures following her around.
for no reason.
I there's one like stupid scared vulture and one
Yeah,
just
he's
like
the evil comic relief.
yeah, the evil comic relief, and then you just have like a vulture who's just like, I got nothing else to do.
Yeah. Can I say vultures get a bad rep?
Well, understandably they get it because they eat
They
like
can be associated with death. I don't think that necessarily means they should be negative.
I
Look, they eat the rotting thing. Do you want the rotting thing around, or you want it gone?
well, I assume flies also eat the rotting thing. I don't like flies.
Yeah, but I don't mind vultures.
What? Well, I mean, literally, a vulture
Well, they
will.
can symbolize death. I'm not
Yeah,
minding
okay.
them symbolizing death.
Right.
I just don't think that should always be negative.
I disagree. Just because like a vulture would hope for your death so it could eat you.
However. Oh, actually, so going back to Jim Butcher, the Dresden Files author,
Yeah.
his much better series, Codex Alara, which is the one he wrote, which is a mixture of Avatar: The Last Airbender and the Roman Empire.
I think he said Pokemon in the Roman
That
Empire.
was the bet he made. It was the mix
Oh,
of the two.
okay.
It is
It's
way
more
closer
accurately.
to say Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Okay, that makes more. Yeah,
It
yes.
is way closer.
Hmm.
In that world, there are crows, and they're common like curse. Like they'll say crows, or like if they challenge you to a battle to the death, they say, "Hey, may the crows feast on the unjust."
Yeah, right.
But the crows have some weird magic. We don't know. It's never explained.
Yeah.
But right before a bloody battle appears, crows start flocking. It's like the night before there's a big battle.
Yeah.
There'll suddenly be thousands of crows circle. And everyone freaks out because that means it is going to be as bad as they think it is.
Oh, okay.
If the crows don't appear, it's not going to be a bloodbath.
Oh, okay. So they have like some precognition kind of
Yes.
thing going on. All right.
And most of the time, they're just birds.
Yeah.
But when they swarm, like when there's a murder of crows out there, it's, oh shit. I don't know how many of us are going to die. I don't know how many of them are going to die.
A lot of people are going to die.
But there's going to be a lot of death.
Yeah, okay.
And they curse by the, like, you know, when they, like, instead of, fuck Russia, it's crows.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And
because
that is the most natural curse I've ever heard.
yeah, I agree with that. Okay.
That was part of this world, which I'm surprised it's not at this point.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, yep, I would curse by that too.
Yeah, okay. Fair.
So, these poor innocent vultures,
Don't try to characterize. They turn into dragons later. Don't try
Yeah,
to
it's the same,
characterize that.
so there's the flood
Yeah. There's the
We
flood. Genesis flood.
from the melting of the snow, and Brawny saves our Funyun friend and Snow White the Lesser.
The lesser. On the
from this
blade
by-
of his axe.
Yes. Which, by the way, it's about the same size as them, which I thought was weird proportionally.
Yeah, that is very weird proportionally.
It's more of like a...
Especially if you call someone a flea.
Yeah, but like from what I saw of the movie, it's more like he has an especially long hatchet, I guess would be the best way I'd put it.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
It's like, it's a full, axe with a hilt, full length.
Yeah.
It's a very, relatively small blade.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
But he survives them, and it looks like he sacrificed himself for a second because he holds them above until the flood disperses.
Yeah, and he's underwater for like a few minutes. Like,
It's not that long. I mean, it's implied that's a few minutes.
yeah.
But no, all the giants are fine. Like there's a few seconds where you're looking at all of their, what you think are their corpses.
And then Snow White's like, "Oh God, my mom and dad are dead. My whole town is dead."
These giants have sacrificed themselves. Ronnie could have saved himself. Like,
Yeah.
she acknowledges this, and
Yeah.
then all of them start coughing and breathing.
Oh, right. Like almost, just good timing.
So Ronnie blushes because he hears all these good things about himself,
Looks like he has a sunburn on
and
his
he
face.
refuses to admit that he's a good person
Yeah.
because he's a good guy.
Yeah.
He is in fact a nice guy. He deserves a date.
Yes, he does. He deserves all the dates.
Yeah, Brawny, best character in the entire film. Like, I'd watch the Brawny movie.
I watch a movie just with Brawny.
Yeah, it's like the guy who like puts in like a 16-hour day, then like puts a bunch of his check towards charity, and then like
That
reads to like cancerous children on the weekend.
Yeah, I guess like a cat out of a tree for a child or something.
Yeah, adopts a stray.
Yeah, and just like, well, I don't like to tsundere. Like, I don't really like you, but you can stay in my house.
It's not that I like you; it's that I couldn't sleep if I knew you were on the street.
Yeah, that's the type of character Brawny
Okay.
is.
Okay, one more sidetrack, but I think this has a lot of like historical merit for the former United States. Abraham Lincoln, when he was in a car at one point,
Yeah.
saw a pig trapped in quicksand
Oh.
and pulled it out, and he just got covered in muck.
Yeah.
And the guy who was writing was like, "Wow, that's really nice of you." And he's like, "No, it's selfish. I could never sleep for myself if I didn't save him."
Abe.
Yeah, right. It's like
Yeah.
that tells you a lot about the character of that man. When it's
Yeah.
like, no. If I didn't do that, I'd feel terrible.
I mean,
It personally has a conscience.
yeah. Well, there's also that I forget if it's like Socrates or
No,
Aris.
the daemon of Socrates. Yes.
Yeah. One thing I always took from those kind of like philosophical kind of readers was that let's say you're a bad person, right? You just don't consciously think of yourself as a bad person.
Yes.
But then again, if you're like a decent person, but you still have like these bad thoughts, but you consciously choose not to have these bad thoughts, you're an okay person. But the best kind of person doesn't have any of these thoughts whatsoever and just acts in a correct kind of way, which I feel is like so small of the percentage of people in the world.
Yep.
I would say almost non-existent. Almost. But let's get back to the movie.
Yes. So Brawny, besides proving once again he's the best boy,
Best boy Brawny, I'll put that on a shirt.
I would wear that shirt.
Yeah.
Brawny deserves more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking of the Socratic implications of Brawny and how Aristotle would view him as simply the man of action. And all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Philosopher King Brawny. Yeah, honestly, if we're gonna have a leader, that wouldn't be a bad one.
No, it wouldn't be like he's yeah.
He refuses to admit that he's doing this for the public good, but he always is.
Yeah, he's always thinking of the public good.
But he has to keep the strong face on so the enemies don't think he's weak. Actually, that's a damn good leader.
Yeah. Hey, should keep that in mind. All right.
Yeah, next RPG character. But they decide, okay, so we need to keep them at home now because we can't bring them with us.
Yeah.
But we need a guard. And for some reason, they pick the guy with hiccups.
Yeah, the chronically hiccuping man.
Yeah, that poor bastard.
Yeah.
And the evil
Stepmother.
step-grandmother, I suppose.
Step-grandmother to the Snow White the Lesser.
So, yes. The step-grandmother of Snow White the Lesser.
Yeah.
Then changes her vulture followers into dragons.
Yeah, or wyverns.
Right now.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, well, yeah, fair enough.
Into dragons, though, but are the same size as the giants.
Yeah, and
Poor Hiccups has to freaking fight off two dragons the exact size with a stick.
With a stick, or it could be the hoe. I don't know.
No, it's a stick. It's definitely
All
a
right,
stick.
yeah, it's definitely a stick.
If it was a hoe, he'd have more reach.
Yeah, that's true.
And a metal blade at the end. It probably would have worked better for him.
Yeah,
as well.
it would have. Too bad poor Yokel had to take that with him. Apparently,
he farms even during winter, according to the song.
Yeah, and he's got a green thumb, if anything. That man.
Dude, that man grows cabbages in the middle of winter. That's damn impressive.
He would love that guy from Avatar who sells all the cabbages.
My
cabbages. Yep.
But Hiccups does manage to fight off, or at least keep the dragons at bay from attacking his guests and destroying his house.
Yeah.
He doesn't beat them. So while he's doing that, the evil step-grandmother turns into a giant. And
a giant woman.
An older woman, too.
Yeah.
And pretends, according to Snow White the Lesser,
yeah,
that she's in fact their sister, which I think mother or grandmother would have worked better because she was very clearly elderly.
Yeah, and okay. I mean, the only reason they have that scene in there is just to allude to the first Snow White, where she turned into a grandmother.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just a form she's used to taking, I suppose, and she just expanded it.
Well, I feel like Rat and Grandmother is like the two forms she can take.
That's the only two polymorph spells
she knows. Yeah. And instead of being a rat and immediately eating them because she has the opportunity to do that, she decides to turn into a grandmother and not squish them.
No, instead she decides to poison her. She shows them a bunch of flowers, and a bee smells it and dies or is
Giant
paralyzed.
bee.
Yeah, giant bee for no apparent reason. Smells these giant flowers and is either dead or paralyzed.
Yeah.
And Grunion notices and tries to warn and save Snow White, but is kind of like cast off by a flick of the
Witch's robes, I
which is
guess.
robe. It's very. I don't know what part of her body she moved to do that.
So let me ask you a question. If the king and queen kiss the bee, would the bee come back to life?
Yes,
Okay, even though the bee is not nobility.
yes, because Snow White the Elder was not nobility.
I thought she was nobility because she was the daughter of the king.
Was she? Because in that case, one second, let me look up
She
Snow White.
she was a child of the king and the queen. The queen died, and then the king married like the stepmother. The stepmother was evil, and then somehow killed the king, or the king died from natural causes. And then she's like technically royalty.
Is she? I thought she was just. Oh Lord, is she nobility or royalty? There's a subtle and important
There,
difference.
yeah, you're right.
I'm googling it, and for some reason it's taking way too long.
Yeah, but eh, let's just assume that is the case. But either way, so we have that going on. She smells the flower. She goes into a slumber-ish death, poison, whatever.
She is in fact a princess. We don't know if it's the same kingdom, but she is definitely. If she's a
She's
princess,
okay.
She is nobility, not nobility, royalty, not
Royalty.
nobility.
Okay, good to know. All right, so we got that down. So we have that going on. All of the giants come back to the house once they hear the hiccuping for a while.
Yes, it takes them far too long.
To conveniently, it takes them way too long.
Okay, look, if Hiccupy is a decent guard because he hiccups more.
Oh yeah, because he can alert people with his hiccups.
Apparently, incredibly loud.
He saves the day at the end.
He does. But you'd think if you heard incredibly loud hiccups,
Yeah.
you'd immediately run back.
Yeah, because like he only hiccups when he's scared. So
more so when he's scared.
Yeah, you're right. More so when he's scared. Okay.
Or like frightened or anything. So if you're going to do that, you think as soon as you hear him like more than a normal amount of hiccups, like, oh, something's going on. We need to get back there now. Instead, it takes like a conversation.
Right, and then the one that acts first is Brawny, who notices this and then just immediately runs for it.
Yeah, and everyone follows him because like, oh, Brawny thinks there's a problem. We should.
Yep.
He has a good heart. We should
always
him.
Trust Brawny.
Yeah, trust Brawny when he's acting on his heart.
In God, in Brawny, we trust.
We don't deserve Brawny.
No, Brawny died for our sins. He died for Snow White's sins and came back.
Snow White died for her sins.
Yeah, you're right. Well, there could be multiple.
Both Snow White, technically.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's the line.
Yeah. So, they go back. It's too late. Brawny does an absolutely adorable funeral for Snow White. Like he picks a giant rose, takes a metal box, fills it with rose, and puts her on a bed of petals.
Yeah.
And then the giants do what any good group of brothers should do when
form a lynching mob.
That's. Well, I was going to say, fulfill a pack of vengeance upon this evil doer.
Yeah. Same difference, really.
Yeah, it depends who the winner of the story is, really.
Yeah, it depends. But then they chase after this old woman.
Yep, who runs back to her castle, which is on the dark side of the mountain. It's on top.
On top of the dark side of the mountain.
And she tries electrocuting them. Brawny just breaks through that crap.
Yeah, he's just like a freight train that's not going to stop.
Yeah, so she summons demons.
Which I thought was going to be like awesome because it looks like Godzilla.
Yeah, one is very clearly Godzilla.
Yeah, like Ghidorah and like a couple other like monsters.
Yeah, there's exactly the same amount, and they're the same size of the giants. And Kevin and I think both were expecting the most epic showdown possible.
Yeah.
Because, frankly, that would be an amazing story.
Yeah, it would be great. I would love to watch giants fight demons.
Yeah, like this was like and the giants were angry for all the right reasons. Like,
yeah.
It would have been
justified.
Yeah, justified anger, righteous fury.
Yeah.
No, we don't get that because it freaks out Mr. Hiccupy so much.
Yeah, he's scared, so he starts hiccuping, and he hiccups so hard that the castle that the queen is living in falls apart at the seams because of his hiccups. Causes like an avalanche and a bunch
Yeah,
of crap.
an earthquake. All the demons just disappear as soon as the ground gets a little bit cracked.
Yeah, well, okay, so the the queen's power comes from the mirror, who is constantly
Apparently.
back talking her all the time and saying like, "Well, there's twins, and then they're both more fair than you." And she comes back again after she deals with like the family. Like, I'm the fairest one after all, right? She's like, "No, Snow White still lives. You're less fair."
Yeah, one's frozen and one's just chilling.
Yeah, so still better than you.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you shouldn't ask something that always tells the exact truth.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
But
well,
she demands more power from it, and it's like, oh, finally you acknowledge that I'm the source of your power. Well, too bad, because I am you. There's,
what does that even mean in context of
yeah, I
this?
don't know. So the way I think of it is like it's a witch's phylactery.
Okay, yeah.
So like, I don't know if it's its own separate thing or not, but no matter what, the massive sonic hiccups cause the mirror to shatter,
To crack and fall.
therefore, so does the wicked grandmother.
And she gets sucked into hell, I guess, where she
And
summoned the demons from.
she just kind of like falls down into nothing. Like her clothes are still there, but she just
Yeah.
kind of like poofs, and it's not really explained.
No.
But she's gone.
I mean, in the original film, she falls off of like a cliff and dies. So I don't know why she was frozen on top of a cliff.
Look, I have no idea.
Well, yeah.
Let's not give this movie too much credit.
Yeah, well, we can't because it's this movie.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise this would just be Snow White and Brawny, the Adventures of Excellence. I would watch
Snow White and Brawny, the paper towel commercial.
Okay, we do not deserve Brawny.
No. He died for our.
He died for us.
Yeah. 20 years from now, Brawny religion is going to be spawned from this.
I mean, he's a good guy. He at least deserves a monument.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah, a really nice guy.
Only nice guy on Reddit.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at my Reddit, I was about to say like it's really bad, but honestly, I'm the admin of the Pugmire form of Reddit.
Oh, that's not bad.
I actually made it because I was really disappointed there wasn't a Pugmire Reddit already.
Right, and then here you are. Yeah.
That's all I do on Reddit, basically.
All right.
It's that and look at fan-made magic cards.
As you do.
Yeah.
So going from that,
so
Queen is defeated.
Queen's defeated, and Snow White is returned to her family by the giants, and her parents kiss her corpse.
As you do.
As you do. I mean, I can't even make fun. I did kiss my grandmother on her forehead when she died. I'm not gonna make too much of it. I regret doing that because I did not realize what embalming was at that point in time.
Oh my
And
god.
the texture freaked me out. It was
I'm
a
sorry.
tearful moment. I held her hand. I knew something was up for that, but I thought it was like blood or something. I didn't think. I kissed her on the forehead, and I was like, "I miss you, Graham. I'm really." And I was like, "That's not what she felt like. That is not what skin is."
So, going off of that, she comes back alive.
Yeah. So as we all know, royalty has magic powers. This movie very pro monarchy lesson. I just feel like the message,
Pro blood purity, pro monarchy.
yes, is for mother and father. Both nobles, Snow White and Prince Charming, were originally not nobles, royals.
Royalty, yes.
And as we all know, royals have magic. I mean, that's why the Queen of England's still alive even in the apocalypse.
Yeah.
I mean, she's subjugated because the Celtic Union took over England, but still.
She's still alive, though. You can't kill her.
You can't kill the
You
Queen.
can't, literally can't.
They've tried.
Unless you have, a magic guillotine, which those are outlawed nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, they only exist in France anyways.
Yeah, that's true. So unless you get her expedited over to France for a guillotine.
And they're still Celtic.
Yeah.
They're not going to trust the French.
No, I mean, no one really does. So going from that.
Yeah, I mean, well, the former United States did it. Look what they're doing now. Rubble.
Yeah. So here we are.
Yeah.
Never trust the French.
Never trust the French. I think like the second law ever made by the United States was like a permanent alliance with France.
Okay. Well, that's why they fell.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
they immediately backstabbed them when the French went through their own Revolution War.
Yeah. That- well, let's not bring up the past so much.
Yeah, it's the past.
Yeah.
Now France isn't even a thing, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Now it's just wasteland. I mean, I can't believe the. I mean, look, that's what France gets for trying to go energy independent and building all these reactors.
Yeah. Well, there you go. You get a giant wasteland.
I don't want to set the world on fire.
And baguettes are delicious for me. I have snails. All right. Anyway.
Yeah, I've actually been to Paris, and you know
Yeah.
what? Shockingly pleasant.
I mean, depends on where you go, I would imagine. But I've heard.
I got none of the rude to American shit. Like everyone's like, oh, this everyone's like okay,
Yeah.
strange. If you're not used to Europeans, I can see how you think that, because Americans as a whole, we are not a reserved people.
Yeah.
I am the most extroverted person most Europeans I know have ever met in their life.
Oh, okay.
Like, I am an extreme of a chart.
Oh my God. All right. So,
Like,
wow.
I hug my friends a lot, and that is weird to a lot of them.
Okay.
So, considering a lot of people cold or rude or something is very understandable, because
Culturally.
we are not like that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, a British friend of mine kissed his girlfriend, who was Dutch. You know, we were met in Belgium. She was Dutch. She's
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's so cute. And he thought I was giving him like shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like no, that was very cute.
Yeah.
It's like, and like we have that. That's how this conversation came about originally. I would be getting shit for that.
Oh.
You literally mean it was cute.
Yeah.
Because it was very cute. It was like, oh.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Nice.
That's just not something British people have. That's Brits. That is the closest you get to an American in Europe.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. All right. So Ted, to go back to this movie because we talked about it in full.
Yes.
What would you rate this movie out of?
Out of, let's say, 7 Royal Miracles.
I would say 7 Friendly Giants.
Oh, the 7 Friendly Giants. 3.
3 7 Friendly Giants.
Yes, 3 out of 7.
I'll go slightly higher. 4 out of 7 for me.
Yeah. So it wasn't an awful movie. It was clearly a commercial tie-in for whenever the first Snow White movie came in, with a much lower budget and a much less skilled animator.
And much less ideas put into it.
Yeah, but it wasn't terrible or anything. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, it's not boring.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I would say it's short enough and it's well paced enough where it's gonna be like, you can watch through it and it's like it's fine.
Yeah, if it was another 20 minutes, it'd be way worse.
Yes. And also, while the movie was going on, we are doing like a lot of talking.
Yeah, we just talked this. Normally, I shut up as much as possible during these movies,
but
this was not that case.
no. But we watched it. We had like a pretty decent time. We had some funny moments there. We thought a tomato was a pumpkin for a little while.
Yeah, that's how bad the animation is.
Yeah,
it's kind of it's a 3.
Yeah, and to me it's a 4 just because I like that kind of bad animation. It makes it really funny to me. But yeah, thank everybody for listening to the podcast. And if you're from Mississippi, yet again, not sorry. So Ted, definitely not sorry.
This is the most pro Mississippi I've ever been in my entire life.
Yeah, that's true. That has not.
I actually had every Mississippi thing I had to say was relatively positive.
Yeah, relatively nice. It seems more you hate Georgia than Mississippi at this point.
Yeah, I was not expecting that.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, I was not expecting Georgia to be. Look, just see a dentist. Look, I can't get over this. Like the sheer proportion of people I saw. Now, I was on a road trip. I stayed mostly in hotels.
Right.
Kind of amusement park, and saw various gas station restaurants.
Yeah.
It should not be over 50% of people I saw have clearly done a lot of meth.
Okay.
Now, I don't know how much meth it takes to kill. Literally no idea, honestly.
Right. Listeners, you can look that up yourself.
Listeners, let me know if you've done enough meth to destroy your teeth. Tell me how much meth you've done.
In confidence. So
I ain't sharing this.
yeah,
I'm High Elder. I have a
High Elder can be taken in multiple ways.
yeah. I'm not even joking. That would okay. Let me phrase it just to make sure people. I don't want people to incriminate themselves in this. That being said, the Emperor has decreed that anyone with drug addiction can come forward, not be criminally charged, and go through a 3-month addiction help center.
Yeah.
So either tell me or seek treatment.
This doesn't help also psychological addictions like cloning yourself. Not that I have one, but I'm
Is
just
that a
saying.
cycle? Oh, that would explain a lot. Speaking of which, Kevin 12. Yeah. Can I get another cauliflower? Thanks.
Thank you, Kevin 12.
Kevin 12's the best.
Yeah, he's nice.
All right, and between High Elder Ted and Kevin Prime, I
Yes.
I wish you all a. Actually, it's not yet 2021 yet.
Not yet, but soon.
Soon. So I wish you all a happy year. Next time we'll talk about my theme for the year.
Ooh, okay.
Yep, I have a theme every year.
All right, I'm interested in hearing this. Okay.
Yeah, this year was the year of friendship. Moderate success, actually. Given this year,
Yeah, you know what? I have to applaud you.
yeah,
Yes.
if
Given this year.
this was not the apocalypse, it would have been a failure. But given the shit this year had busted upon me, I'm counting the year of friendship as a pretty grand success.
Net positive.
Yeah. But that's next time, which may or may not be the next podcast or the podcast after that, because often, because of the editing and everything, I listen to the second most recent episode right before we record,
Yeah.
and that will remind me of this. So
Yeah.
in the near future, you will hear about my theme for the year and the rather expensive, high-quality journal I bought for it.
Oh, okay. I am very interested in hearing this as well.
Yep. So
But
in the meantime, stay safe, love your friends and family, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Bye, everybody.
Bye.